Hello and welcome to this Warno Pro Guide for the 2nd US Marine Division. This will be like all of the other Pro Guides where first I tell you about how high ranked I am, but essentially I'm going to explain what the division is and what it does, what it's good at, what it's bad at. Then we'll go through every single unit in the deck so that you can see how the deck is made and so on, and then there will be a series of examples. I think I've got about 6 or 7 examples to show you where I'll just be going through a replay and saying, look, this is who I'm up against, this is what I'm doing, and from that you will learn something. So the channel joiners get these early. There's quite a few of them, as some of them are still in channel membership, because they're the only reason I can really do this. Otherwise, this would just be 7 separate videos of me playing the game, right? Whereas to maximize revenue and all this, but I don't have to worry about that because of the channel joiners. Anyway, what is it? So, 2nd Marine Division just came out with Landjut. I've been playing it a lot. It's probably the most popular div in Landjut just because Americans play a lot of video games. It's the biggest population that plays video games, in the West at least. I know China plays a lot, but not this game. And so it's going to be popular because of that anyway. But obviously everybody knows the US Marines from Saving Private Ryan and, whatever, Hurt Locker. So it's most similar to 9th US Motorized. The division, essentially, you get very nice but very expensive infantry, backed up by powerful but close-range tanks. And your forward deployment at the start isn't that great. But because your infantry is so expensive, the general way you run it is that you want to play narrow. It's it's quite paradoxical. Usually it's the tank div with all the tanks and IFVs that wants to play narrow, but this is an infantry div that wants to play narrow. So by all means you can send your LAVs around the sides and this fav thing to go and annoy people, but you want to take it slow and just do an attritional grind in one part of the map, preferably the part that's favourable to infantry, and just bleed your enemy out that way. It does, as a result of that, have quite a few weaknesses, right? One is that if you're playing against somebody who's just constantly sending 20-point, 30-point BTR 60s around the sides, right, you're probably going to lose because at the start of the game you're quite weak because your infantry's so expensive that you can't effectively screen the whole map until you get a lot of units out. And so it's quite easy for people to overwhelm you at the start, which is when you're at your weakest, and either by going around the sides or just out attritioning you at the start if they're just buying a bunch of reservisti, and you're buying 85-point USMC Rifleman Dragon 2, which then gets sniped by a plane. You're gonna lose, right? So you want to take it slow at the start. That's when you're at your weakest, and it's a very powerful mid-game division. You're also quite weak in general to helicopters. So since the last patch, they've made it so that helicopters, you can't just chuck a jet at it and it'll reliably die anymore. It might die, but it happens a lot less now. Usually the helicopter survives, as opposed to before it was usually it died. So and what are you going to chuck at it? A 300-point F-14A Tomcat and hope it works, right? So you're quite weak to helicopters. You're quite weak to helicopter rushes, but we've got some solutions to that. and and you're quite weak against like just the standard mech blob, right? Where it's I just buy a bunch of max range tanks with BMP ones, right? That is probably going to beat you. It will be an uphill struggle to play into that. So it's not like a super powerful div. I'd say it's in terms of its meta standing, I'd say it's slightly above average, or it might even just be average because it loses to the meta strat, which is mech blob. Anyway, so we'll go through it tab by tab, and yeah, you're also super weak to helicopters because you've not got any proper short range anti-air. So yeah, it's a fun div, which excels at kind of infantry grinds. So it's always going to be a powerful team game division because you've got the Tomcats, you've got the Eyehawks, and with the Catfee and the infantry with all the grenade launchers and so on, you can do an infantry grind, right? But in a 1v1, if you get a map like Vertigo, you're going to have a really rough time. So yeah, tab by tab. First of all, we've got this boat thing, so this carries 10,000 supply in a card, whereas the normal for any mobile thing is 6,000 in a card, right? So this is 12 times 500, this is 2,000 times 3, 1,000 times 6, quick maths, those all add up to 6,000, but this is 10,000. So because of that, you only need 2 cards of supply, right? Which you'd probably only bring anyway, but it's nice to have nice supply. And this thing, yeah, it's a boat, and it is slow, and just try not to lose it, because if you lose 10,000 supply, you're going to be very upset. Then in terms of your second supply, it's got to be the lav, because you want to get to close to the front lines, because this needs to sit, you know, in a safe place near the back, basically. Not too far away, but... and these will go up to the front lines and supply things. Great advantage with this is that it has smoke. The Resolute doesn't really matter, the Amphibious doesn't really matter, but it has smoke, which and it's super fast. So often at times, your supply truck, if you bring it up close to the front lines, it might get caught out. You're supplying a unit in a building, and ATGM might shoot you in the side. You can smoke with this and it won't die. So that's actually really, really useful to have. The issue is it only carries 500 supplies, so you end up having to have a load of them around. And just remember not to sell them. Remember to send them back to the Lark to get refilled, because if you sell them, then you'll find out, oh, I can't resupply my units on the front anymore, because, you know, more than half of my supply is tied up here. Almost 2/3 of my supply is tied up in this one unit. So you got to keep this alive, and you got to remember not to sell these. In terms of CVs, right, we don't bring these, because what's the point? Because when we switch to the infantry tab, right, this is a 2-point slot, this is a 2-point slot, and I can get a 3 per card. It's only 3 dudes, but it's a 3 per card leader for 40 points. And so if I put it in the Humvee, it's 60 points. So you open with 2 of these, whereas if I got just a Humvee, it would be 90 points, which doesn't make too much sense, but it's because units can cap zones while moving around. So that's how it makes sense, because obviously this guy would have to unload from his Humvee to cap it, and then he's vulnerable while he's walking around, and you don't cap the zones as fast because this can drive through the zone to the edge, wait for it to finish capping, and drive straight out. Whereas this guy, you would unload it at the start, wait, and then load him back in, and yeah. And a bit less survivable because it's only 3 HP. So yeah, 1 in the Humvee, and the other one comes in the DAS rocket. So this is like the Lynx rocket, but better, because it has 8 HP instead of 6, and it has 10% ECM. And I believe the rockets of themselves are better. We could just... Lynx... Yeah, so it costs more, but the rockets have more range. I mean, they've got less accuracy, but they've got more range, which is very, very, very important. And the fact that it has... I mean, it is slower, right? But the fact that it has 8 HP is quite important, because it means that the only things that can one-shot it are, like, Cubs. Cubs, Eyehawks, Bucks, you know. Whereas the Lynx rocket can get one-shot by a tracked rapier, it can get one-shot by an Osa. Osas are quite common these days, so... Yeah, the one on the right's obviously better, the one on the left's cheaper. So, yeah, ever since the Hilo change as well, so people are going to use a plane to try and strafe this, and because it's got 8 HP, which is the same as an Apache, and it's got 10% ECM, it might not die, right? It will usually not die to a plane strafing run. Not, you know, like I said before. So, very nice piece of kit, and we've got some more coming. But the point is, you use them like you use the ones in 2nd UK. You do not do a heli rush at the start with this division. It doesn't work. So then you've got USMC Aero Riflemen. So this squad in general, they've changed all the colours, right? The M72 Law is still a bad AT, but it's good now apparently. But it is bad. The Sea Knight, right, so you use this like you would use a Black Hawk. So you don't sell this once you unload it. And you use it like a Black Hawk, where you can use it to just scout, and once it gets damaged, you can still sell it. It's got 15% ECM and 8 HP. And it's got the 50 cal, so it can help shoot. So super, super nice piece of kit, and you would put it in front of your expensive Super Cobra, right? Which has the same HP and ECM. And the idea is if this gets hit by the AA missile and the Super Cobra survives, that's great, because this only costs 55 points and you've got 5 of them, whereas this costs 4 times more and you've got 2 of them. So, nice piece of kit, don't sell the transport. Then you've got, you'll notice these are all at 2 vet. It's because of how expensive the infantry is. You tend not to run, well, if you've run out of all this, you've probably lost anyway because you've just lost so many points. Right, so there's a reason they're all at 2 vet. The other thing is because they come at 1 vet by default because they're marine, right? They come at 1 vet resolute for 5 points more, like the guys in 6E basically, and like the Soviet Marines. But before this, it was basically the guys in 6E, like the Legionnaires, stuff like that. That's most close to it. So your availability doesn't go down too much for it being 2 vet. Admittedly, this only being 6 and then going to 4 is quite low. This is the one you might run out of. But I've just found that because they're big squads, they just work so much better at 2 vet. So the way these big squads work in Warno, the way any squad works in Warno, is that they have 500 suppression mana. So you've got 500 cohesion mana or whatever you call it. Once that goes to 0, you're fully suppressed. Now, if you're a 7-man squad or a 14-man squad, you still have 500 suppression mana. So big squads are actually less efficient because if they get, you can suppress one big squad twice as fast as you can suppress 2 small squads, right? So having them at 2 vet makes them work a lot better because the stress resistance goes up and the stress recovery, which happens during combat, goes up, and the resolute gives you additional stress resistance and stress recovery. And you'll find that at 2 vet these guys perform a lot better. And I just found that I just wasn't running out of infantry, right? So yeah, you've got the Dragon one, and this guy, it's got a grenade launcher and a 50 cal and smoke and 2 armor. So this is a very nice fire support vehicle. The resolute, if it's getting suppressed, it's probably about to die anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, this is a very nice fire support vehicle. And this also benefits from the 2 vet, right? So yeah, the Dragon, 13 dudes, 3 machine guns. So it's like 16 shooty power because the machine gun's like 2 rifles. And then the Dragon 2. And then the AT4 guys. So this is 17 and it's blue, and this is 18 and it's yellow. Anyway, so same deal, except 5 points cheaper for a worse AT. But you'll notice they carry 6 instead of 4. But yeah, this, if you're going to run out of any infantry, it'll be this one, because this is the one I buy the most, at least. I do, anyway. But yeah, this is more of the same, but with a worse AT. And then you've got the gunners. So why do I bring the gunners? It's because it's your cheapest regular infantry. And like I said, you really struggle at the start with... because look how expensive this is. You really struggle at the start with like protecting your flanks and stuff. So this is 45 points for 7 men, which is not cost effective. Like, it's a good squad, but it's not cost effective because arm rifles is 40 points for 7 men. Infantry Penave on Öster Land Commando is 35 points for 7 men, right? Stuff like that. So it's not too cost effective, but it's the most cost effective thing you have. And the idea is, at the start, you're only going to have like one of these, and then you've got to buy these towards the start, just so that you can not get overwhelmed by a mass of reservists or whatever. So there's a reason they're coming in trucks, just to make it cheaper and faster to get there at the start, which is when you're at your most vulnerable. Then we've got the USMC Engineers, which is probably the most controversial part of this choice. You don't have to bring this if you don't want to, mainly because the assault men shoot Eiche infantry, but they're only 4 guys. So you can swap this out for a different unit if you want. I wouldn't hold it against you. What would you swap it out for? I don't know, you could bring these, but honestly, they are useful in that like, so that this is the M60E3, which is actually an LSW, not an MMG. So this will fire on the move, whereas the M60 regular won't. And so it's a very good squad if you drop some smoke down and you just run them in and you just kill somebody, because you're resolute and 2-vet, and shock now is 350 meters range, so that they're actually a pretty good squad. It's just I usually don't have to buy them. It doesn't mean they're bad. And then assault men, which you can down vet this if you want, but honestly I found that I just wasn't running out of infantry. You got to keep these guys alive. They're only 4 guys, but this is your AT. It's 19 pen, so it's better than the AT4 at 17, even though they're both blue now. And the SMAR shoots at infantry. The SMAR on the right shoots at infantry. The dumb part is that they've given it 2 different ranges. And the SMAR that shoots at infantry will also shoot at vehicles. So you can get in situations where you're in a forest, you're trying to ambush a unit in the open, so you right-click it, or just... You shouldn't right-click it, really. You should attack move towards it. Because of the way the right-click behaviour works in this game is garbage. Anyway, the... It'll start shooting this at it, and it'll reveal itself and die. And this will do, like, no damage to the vehicle, whereas this would have killed it. So you do have to pay attention to these a lot. And there were only 4 men, so you might want to down vet that just because they're so useful to have. Basically, you should just always have one of these with whatever other infantry, apart from the gunners, right, which are for flank defense and just spam and stuff. It should be like, you know, Dragon team, Assaultmen team, or AT4 team, Assaultmen team. They're really nice at killing vehicles and infantry. They're just nice fire support, but you can't use them by themselves because they're only 4 guys. So they die pretty fast. Sorry, I sound like I've gargled a bunch of pebbles. I've been ill for a while, but this sort of cold-like state, it's just my voice isn't getting better, basically. It's because I talk too much, unironically. And we've got the Totu. This is very straightforward. Big advantage here is because it's Marine. You're paying 5 points more for 100... for a rank of vet, you're paying 5 points more, but it's 100 instead of 95, so it doesn't actually matter. Do you see what I mean? So, although these guys get the rank of vet, but without the resolute, they're 95, you know, whatever. Anyway, the idea is you're getting 5% more accuracy and resolute without compromising availability for 5 points. Now, if it was a unit that cost 5 points and it's gone up to 10, then that's obviously twice as expensive. If it's going from, you know, 95 to 100, it's 5% more expensive. So you're very happy to pay that. But yeah, as soon as this shoots and hits something, move buildings. I can't stress that enough. As soon as this shoots and hits something, move buildings. Otherwise, you will die to the artillery. Because this is or a bomber. This is a high priority target. He knows you only get 3 of these in a card, and he knows how much they cost. So, very, very willing to drop artillery on these whenever they shoot. So as soon as it shoots, move buildings. And then the 40mm grenade launcher. So some people have been saying 50 cals are better now. I don't really buy it. Basically, this ignores cover, so it deals twice as much damage in buildings. And the damage calculator from War Yes that they're using to determine that this is better doesn't pay attention to the fact that when this hits, when this misses, it still does damage because of the splash, and that it doesn't take that into account. So, yeah, I mean, you can bring this if you want, but the grenade launcher is still better. And given that you get the rank of vet, which some people say it doesn't matter because of the splash, I think it matters. Because it makes you shoot faster anyway, because it's gonna... You've got minus 10% reload time, you're doing 10% more damage straight off the bat. Anyway, yeah, nice piece of kit. Artillery, so this is the only tab that's kind of still up in the air, because everything keeps changing with this artillery rework. But currently, as of the 24th of April 2026, I shouldn't date this really, because the non-channel joiners are going to get this like 2 months after everybody else. They're going to be like, what is that to do? Anyway, the mortar, right? Why am I bringing the towed one and not the self-propelled one? So currently, they've just released a patch yesterday, which made it so that self-propelled mortars, they like set up faster than these, but they don't move away faster than these. And so it is a little bit more survivable, but it's not twice as survivable. Right, 6 versus 3. So you might as well, if they're both going to get counter-batteried, and they're both probably not going to make it, you might as well bring the cheaper one and just sell the transport. I usually don't sell the transport because sometimes I like to move it up. But the general artillery meta seems to be, oh yeah, this also lost its vet, which was really dumb. I know it was really dumb. Because it's marine, so it should be vet and, it should just cost more, but have the vet. And it's like, well, every single other one in this tab is like that, but this now isn't. It's like, oh, but it was overperforming. One, no, it wasn't. I wasn't bringing it because it's a waste of time. And two, just make it cost more. But now it costs more and doesn't have the vet. Yeah, whatever. And it's just completely the odd one out now, but it is what it is. You can't win every battle. So the idea in general is you deploy the mortar to really quite near the start. I open with it a lot of times, because these mortars actually do damage to infantry now, right? And it'll help your infantry survive. If there's a tank or whatever, you can smoke off the tank, you can smoke off the ATGM for your tank, and so on. So I tend to open with one or buy one right near the start, and I'm shooting and I'm shooting. Eventually they'll buy an artillery piece and counter battery it. At which point I buy both of these. Right? Now in the games I was playing it was this one. But there's not enough advantage for the self-propelled. It is slightly, because now this packs up and moves faster than this. But this doesn't pack up and move faster than this. Okay, it'll probably keep changing, but as of right now, this artillery piece is just way more cost effective than this one. And the idea is this is plinking away at the infantry, and then you've got this behind on automatic counter battery. And so you wait for them to shoot this, and then you just whack in with these and move it. That's the only reason to use it. And yeah, if you come up against a stubborn ATGM, you just shoot it with this until it goes away. The cat feet is an interesting piece of kit. I've become quite self-conscious of the fact I say that now, because everybody keeps writing it in the comments. Thank you. So this is a mine clearance device. Now, unfortunately, it's cloned off the burrito. So it works almost identically to the burrito, which means it has an absolutely insane supply cost and reload time. You compare this to a regular coffin launcher. What would it be? M60 AVLM off 9th US. Right, the regular coffin launcher shoots once a minute and has a 200 supply cost and a 10-second aim time. And it will kill, it will kill one infantry unit. And it can survive and it's cheaper, it can survive a tow 2 to the front. It's faster, and so the catfee, I keep calling it catafee, it's not actually how it's spelled. The catfee is not cost efficient, and it should change, right? I mean, we obviously don't know what the future holds, but I can't see it staying like that, because they literally just got the burrito and cloned it. And this thing is also suffers from the same problem, where the supply cost is just too much, and the reload time is too much. The aim time can stay the same, right? So I can't see it staying like that, so it might get more cost effective, but because you've effectively got almost 3 cards of supply, just make sure you buy this when you're using this, basically, because it'll drain the small ones really fast. 500 supply, 1200 supply cost. So basically, this is how you're winning your attritional infantry battles, right? Not only are your infantry sort of stronger than the enemies, backed up by powerful grenade launchers, they're at 2 vets, so they should be winning. When a plane comes to bomb this, or whatever, you should have Eyehawks and Tomcats, which we'll get to. But you've also got these, which you get 2 of, and they should be firing. And you fire half a volley. Sometimes it depends how many people are there, but usually you should fire half a volley. So if you've got it next to a supply, you just have to count that it's firing however many it's firing in one, and yeah, because basically this number will keep going up. So just something to keep in mind. Try and fire half a volley. You'll get used to it. I just sort of do it through feel, so I don't actually know how many projectiles it launches at once. I think it's 4, but that might not be right. Anyway, this is killing the enemy infantry. And, you know, you can smoke and move and stuff, right? So, yeah, this is the tab that is probably most likely to change. And if it does change, it might be that you swap out the 155s for this, and you swap out this for that. But currently it's better to have the towed one and the towed one. And this, I don't see the point in bringing, basically, ever anymore in 1v1. In team games, it probably still makes sense to just bring 2 of these. Because they'll be right parked at the back and so on. But, you know, this has the same range as that. And you get 2 of it in a card. You can get 2 of them for, what, 290, including the transport. Basically, this shouldn't have had its vet removed. Anyway, USMC M60A1. So these were different to the ones in 9th US. The ones in 9th US go max range. This buys into the smoke everything strat, but smoke everything strat has been nerfed a lot since the artillery rework, because now you can just counter battery these so easily. So CV tank, right, which leads us to 8 CVs. You can run 6 if you want, but I don't really see the point, because you want to buy this to have it with these. Now you're probably wondering why these are at 2 vet. Well, it's a similar story to last time, where because they're marine, right, it should be, if it wasn't marine, it would be 5 at vet 1. So now it's 5 at vet 2, right? And then this would be 9 at vet 1, and now it's 9 at vet, you know, this would be 9 at vet none. Now it's 9 at vet 1, right? 6 at vet 2, etc. So, yeah, they and then you put the CV with it, and then they're at 3 vet. Now, you may have noticed this has 23 pen. So, yeah, it's highly effective at closer ranges. If you're playing on a map like Eiche or something, you're really going to mess up enemy armor. I wish my voice was better. Sorry, I don't know how to fix this. Right, where was I? The M60A1. So 23 pen means it one-shots like 4 or 5 armor at that range. So it's pretty crazy. And if you get super close, you're really messing up these bigger tanks. It tends to be that you know, you could one-shot him and he just about won't one-shot you. It obviously depends on the tank, depends on the range, etc. And so this is very much an infantry support tank, because it doesn't have the range to reach out and, you know, hit these T80 BVs and so on. And this comes back to the weakness of the deck. Like, you get a lot of, basically, noobs, right, think this deck is OP. And the reason they think the deck is OP is because they see this like, wow, amazing unit. And they don't understand the idea of timing, right? Their timings are off. They don't know that if they rush USMC at the start, they're going to win, right? They don't know that, you know, if you just get a mech blob, well, if you're a lighter div, you should rush USMC at the start, and you're going to win. If you're a heavier div, you should play it late and just bank on the fact that, well, he's only got 2 cards of these, although the vet, you know, obviously, with the availability and stuff, it's more like 3. But the you know, you just outrange him, he can't shoot you back, and he's only got so many TOW 2s, and they can get exploded by the artillery and so on. So you really got to be careful with these tanks. But on a map like Eiche, where you come up that big hill, you hide behind the houses and pop out and just blat people, or Factory, or anything like that, you're going to have the advantage. But in yeah, late game against heavier divs, you're really going to struggle, because they just outrange you, right? And if they're T80 BVs or whatever, they're going to shoot an ATGM at you at even further range. And all the IFVs are going to outrange you quite a bit as well with their ATGMs. So even though you one-shot most IFVs in the game, you won't be able to shoot them if they just stay at range and hit you. So the div does have very exploitable weaknesses. It's literally just because it's just come out, everybody's like, oh, it's OP. It's really not. It's actually one of the weaker divisions in Landshot. So this has got 23 pen, and this is cheaper, right? So this is more just anti-infantry, and this is I kill you, right? So then you've got the Humvito 2. Why do I bring this instead of the Lav At? Because the Lav At does not have good stealth. So there's a choice to be made. You can bring the Lav At and just have the advantage of 2 salvo length, which is quite important. So basically, I'm using this for flank defense, going around the sides and annoying people, trying to hit people in a crossfire. If your idea is I'm going to blob M60s and I need something to back up my blobbed M60s, you would get this one. And it would sit behind the M60, and it would be better at it because it's got the 2 armor, so at max range it can survive a kinetic round from some tanks. And it's got the 2 salvo length, which is important because it means in that fight it's going to be firing more rounds than this, because this will fire 1 then reload for 7 seconds. This will fire 2 then reload for 10 seconds, right? And it carries more ammo and all this, right? So yeah, if you want to blob your M60s, then bring this. But honestly, if that's the way you want to play it, you're playing the wrong division. You should just be playing 1st Cavalry and just blob your Abrams with Bradleys behind, right? So, or just play any pack div and just blob your packed slop with BMP1s behind. So that's why I bring this one instead of the Lav At. I hope that makes sense. Recon tab, so this is where we get more of our DAS rockets. So you can do a recon rush with the DAS rockets. I don't recommend it. And the reason I don't recommend it is because you can't protect these guys at the start unless you open with a 300-point Tomcat. So, like, you know, you don't have any forward deployed AA and stuff like that. Like, there's a couple games, I think, where I do this. Like, I might buy one at the start because it's a recon deployed, so it starts further forwards and it's got the rockets and everything. So I might just buy one and put it, you know, send it onto the road that I think the enemy forward deployment's going to come down if I know he doesn't have any forward deployed AA. And if he opens fighter, I'll just land it. But the thing is, you can do the same thing with this, which you should be buying anyway, because it's still got 8 HP. It's got 10% ECM, which is the same as this. It's got fewer rockets, but it's got 250 cals, which these days is probably really good. Might actually just be better than an autocannon. Against soft targets, I'll have to look into that. And so this would force him to unload, but this would probably kill him because it's got enough rockets. So yeah, it's just 4 guys with an AT4, and you get it for the rockets, right? That's why I'm bringing it. And it's nice to have the cheap recon just to sit around the sides with the AT4s. This is your opening sort of bread and butter recon. It's got a full-powered sniper. It's not a DMR, it's a full-powered sniper. I'm sorry, I keep having to take breaks. I'm going to have to do something about my throat. I might eat some honey or something. Right, I swapped out my black matcha tea for a cup of water with honey in it. I'm in my white college girl arc. Anyway, so Force Recon, full-powered sniper rifle, which is way better than a DMR, because it's got more range and it does 100 suppression per shot. So, whereas a DMR does, like, what, 25 suppression per shot? It does fire a bit faster, though. So, very nice unit on the defense, because this can't fire while offending. AT's not great, but the point is, you know, you're getting these guys out at the start in a couple places, and they will very much hold the line. And if any infantry tries to run up to them, you know, across an open field, they're just not going to get to, because they're just going to get panicked and run away. It's weak against vehicles, though. In fact, that's something that needs saying, that the whole... I mean, the small helps a lot, but... Actually, yeah, the small solves most of your problems, but if you've got the whole T-72s driving through the forest into you problem, that 9th US has, because they don't even get AT-4s, right? It's not as bad as the 9th US one, but you will find that you kind of struggle a bit against T-72s driving into you, because you got to micro these teams, and that, you know, the range isn't great on the AT missile, and it'll fire the HE-1 first, and all this, and, you know, for the rest of it, you've just got laws, which are green now, but I'll stop bringing that up. Then we've got lavs. Right, so the whole point of this is that it's a lav, and you have to get some infantry with it. So this is this is the cheaper... Oh, yeah, so there you go, suppression 35 per shot on a DMR, but it's also still called sniper, which they should just call it DMR, really. But it fires faster, right? But the sniper rifle's obviously dealing more suppression, and it's got more accuracy, and it's got more range, which means it has more range, more accuracy at the same range, and so on. So it's more about the suppression than the actual damage, which is, it should be the other way around, really. Basically, machine guns should probably have a bit more suppression, and DMR should have more damage, right? But instead, it's the other way around. A DMR is like 2 machine guns worth of suppression. It's legacy problems from Balanced Man. It's a lot I could talk about, but anyway. His quest for low lethality. So, nice defensive, just cheap recon infantry. The whole point is you can't get the labs without these guys. You don't really need this, but you need the lab. Then this piece of kit, super funny. It's Special Forces Max Vet, so it actually goes at 130 kilometers an hour. So these you want to buy at least 2 in your opener. Sometimes I buy all 4, but yeah, the idea is they guard the flanks or they go down the flanks, send them around the sides, use them to recon the backline. If a helo flies over it, it's a max vet 50 cal Special Forces. So if it's like a 4 HP recon helo, you're just going to kill it, right? If you're in a deep forest and one of those hinds flies right over you, you'll probably just kill it. So super nice vehicle, super nice piece of kit. I'm very self-conscious about saying that now. I never realised how much I said it until people started leaving comments saying how many times I said nice piece of kit in the video, which is fair enough, really. Need to expand my vocabulary. I need to read more. I don't read anymore. I've forgotten how. This guy keeps doing videos where he just reads out the Warno dev diary, so I don't have to read it. Now I can't read. Anyway, yeah, it goes fast. This is your forward deployment. So you could get, if there's like 2 roads from either side going to one building, this would be in front, and then you'd either have the Force Recon behind, or maybe these guys for the LAV. And this would be in front, and if it's an enemy like 4 HP transport coming the other way, you're going to get there first anyway because you're 130, and then you're going to start shooting him with the 50 cal, and he's either going to notice or he's just going to die. So, really good for contesting the opener. It's obviously not as good as, Spezial Aufklärer in a BTR-60 or whatever, but they are good, and you can also send them around the sides to guard the flanks to make sure that people aren't sending stuff to you, because, I believe this loses to a BRDM too, because it's not got any armor, but you'll see in the examples how effectively I use this to go around the sides and find the artillery, especially with the artillery rework. And then, yes, recon, helo, 8 HP, 3 per cut. Now, at this point, you're going to be like, why don't you bring the Bronco? I've played against people who have opened 3 Broncos, including very good players who have opened 3 Broncos, and I always win. So... It's just, you can, if you want, open 3 Broncos and a bunch of the DAS rockets and be like, I'm a heli rush div, right? So Integer did that to me, and Tiberius did it to me with the DAS rockets. I don't think he brought the Bronco, and it's just not a powerful technique. All you gotta do is just be like, I'm not gonna drive into you and die, I'm gonna wait back with my mech blob, right? You're against the second US player in this case. I wait back with my mech blob or my reservist trash spam blob, and I just, buy some AA and drive it around to kill all your helicopters, and then I win no problem, right? So it's not an optimum strategy. So I prefer to just play it ground game at the start, maybe buy 1 of these, but the thing is, everybody expects you to open with loads of helicopters. So if you do it, they're going to be prepared for it. But yeah, 1 of these is a nice investment, right? And then, just a few of these, and just play it slow. The weakest time for you is at the start of the game, before you get your massive blob of M60s and, Dragon Superman, right? So yeah, don't rush at the start, you'll just lose. I hope that helps you. So at this point, you're going to be like, why don't you bring the... It's just not worth it, is it? I was like, why don't you bring ground surveillance radar? You don't actually get any. But anyway, AA. So this is sort of the weakest part of the division, is its anti-helo capability. So yes, you get the Ihawks for anti-plane, and they're very good at it. And it's the USMC Ihawk, so it comes at one rank of vet for free, for 5 points. But 5 points on a 110 point item is less than 5%, right? So you're more than happy to pay that for the 5% accuracy, right? Unlike this though, which is unlike every single other thing. Anyway, and then it's the same with the stingers, where you're paying 5 points more. In this case, it is 10%, right? 5 on 50 is 10%. This is less than 5%, right? But you get in a rank of vet. But yeah, you're weak against helicopters and helicopter rushes, and the first example I'll show you will be me getting heli rushed. And you'll see how badly I deal with it, because it was the first game I played as the division, so... yeah, so then we've got the Super Cobras, so they're like Apaches, but they don't have the armor, which means they're not as good against plane guns. But almost all plane guns got nerfed. I think the French ones are still the same. But almost all plane guns got nerfed. And so, yeah, they're quite survivable, and there should be a C Knight in front of it, or a Das Rocket in front of it. But yes, this launches Hellfires at people, so that's your anti-blob tool, and you'll see an example where I'm on Albion Military Duel against a big blobber called REYAND, and he's blobbing his first cav around. I mean, that's the way you're supposed to play the div, so I don't fault him for it. And I've just got the Apache at the back, and he sends a plane, and I land, and I take off, and I land, and I take off, and he's trying to push around, and the Hellfires just keep hitting him, and so he can't push up. You know, because they've got nice range and so on. So yeah, I bring two of those because they're only one per card. This Seed one, honestly, I haven't had too much success with, if any. But people keep telling me it's really good, so I bring it. And the idea is this outranges every anti-helo in the game except one bar, like one line of anti-helo, which is the OSA line, which it has the same range as, right? So, because yeah, if you look at something like a Book, wow, Book, crazy he plane range, but you'll notice this is 3,000, whereas the Super Cobra was 3,175. So the only thing that can really match it is the OSA, right? And I think there's another one that's in OSA kind of territory, but no, there might not be. It might literally just be the OSA. But obviously it's useless against the tracked rapier, but the tracked rapier, you know, it has a similar range to the Apache Hellfire. So yeah, this I haven't had too much success with. I want to play the div more. It's just I played a bunch of games as it, then I have to play the next div to make the next guide, and I want to circle back and use this more, but so far I haven't had too much success with it, but that's just because there's usually not a good reason to bring it. And then yeah, the rocket one for killing infantry. So in an ideal world, if I had the points, and you could theoretically be like, well, you could get 3 points if you get rid of whatever, because you struggle so much against helicopters that something like this might actually make sense. The thing is, you would have to hit it twice to kill it, you've only got 2 missiles, so you'd have to buy both of them at once. But yeah, the Super Cobra AA, if it carried more anti-infantry rockets, I'd bring it instead of the rocket one. But as it stands, because yeah, that would be the solution to the fact that you're weak against helicopters, is just have 4 of these behind your front line and just wait for them to fly over. But that's going to cost you 6 AP, or, you know, 4 AP if you, or, you know, getting rid of these. So you could make the case that you can get rid of this one to bring this, but I just do without. If I see helicopters, I just back off, buy a load of stingers, and go back in. But in the first example you see, it's before I learn how to do that, so I get toasted. And then the aircraft tab, so this is really interesting in that your bombers actually kind of suck. Your actual strike craft are bad. So the Tomcat is super good at killing planes, right? So as the game goes on, right, you're a slow div. Surprisingly, you can send these around the sides and stuff, but in terms of the middle grind, it is a grind, because you got to get all your units up, and you got to have one of these up all the time, just circling. Bomber comes in to kill your super expensive infantry, or snipe your mega tank, or kill your Super Cobra, and you just lob a bunch of phoenixes at him, and then you get him. This is the cheaper one, but what this means is that you don't have a good anti-helo. That's why these are here. So you'll see a game where it's Hippie versus tmanplays, and it's a repeat of the matchup of Hippie versus Integer. In the examples, just check the description. And I'm like, he's going to helo rush me because that's what Integer did on 20th, Motschutz, another Landshut div. And so I just open with 3 of these. And just kill all the helicopters, right? So I end up losing the Harriers, but it doesn't matter because I survived the heli rush. So if you're worried about getting heli rushed, you could open 3 of these. But honestly, it's more effective to just open a bunch of stingers and just play it slow, right? Anyway, this thing, it's got nice range, right? But it's not fire and forget. So it took me a while to figure this out, because it's a Maverick that's actually not fire and forget. So what you want to do is, as soon as you get in range, evac. And it'll launch the missile, and maybe it'll hit it, maybe it won't. But the point is, you don't want to fly directly over and get hit by the Cubs. Then I bring the Seed, which honestly is bad, because it's the Shrikes, which is the one the Wild Weasel gets. So like the Cub just outranges you by 1,600 meters, the Buck even. But the point is that you can use it to try and whittle down the enemy air defenses, but don't expect it to kill anything. The main thing is this flies in front of this, or slightly behind this, but you want it in front really. And so that your AT plane is protected, that's the only reason for it. You don't plan on sniping enemy AA with it, because it's just not very good. It's got the wrong missile. If it had the other missile, it'd be way better, but then it'd cost way more, so... So yeah, it's like a sponge, and I've spotted the enemy AA, 155mm, kill it. Right. The Harrier Eiche, this will not reliably one-shot a 3 top armor heavy tank. I feel like they used to, but because they've changed the way the dive bombers work, they don't just drop it straight on his head anymore. There's a little bit of spread, and it doesn't kill it. But yeah, this is... Like, you could just honestly just, like, sack this off, and just play a stronger ground game, but I feel like you need it, because you really struggle against enemy heavy tanks, and this will kill the tanks. This is just, you know, nice anti-air, or if infantry gets through. Generally, I spend a lot of time not buying my planes, apart from the Tomcat, and just playing on the ground. So that's the end of the deck review. I'm sorry it took so long and we had some breaks, but I had to get my, you know, white girl drink, or whatever they call it. And now I'm going to show you a huge bunch of examples of me playing against high-level players. Right, sorry about this, guys. The first replay I wanted to show you is sort of corrupted. So basically, there's a full video of me playing against Integer. This was my first game on the 2nd Marine Division. You see I've got the USMC Favs coming around the sides and stuff, and he opens all the Mi-24Ds, and he just owns me, right? He just rinses me. I didn't expect it, he just comes around and kills everything. So basically, you're going to get heli rushed a lot. Now I'll show you one of the things you can do about it. Right, so here we are again. I'm 2nd US Marine again, and this time I'm against tmanplays on 20th Motschutz instead of Integer on 20th Motschutz. This map is really, really good for him, but it's also pretty good for me. So he gets coffin launchers, right, which are very powerful. But I know he's going to open with these. Or at least I'm pretty sure he is, because that's what Integer did to me and he killed me. And so I open 3 Harriers. I just wanted to see if it would work. And I was like, I reckon there'll be 4 of these somewhere, and if I kill them all, we're golden. Cubs one-shot these, so I'll buy as many as possible. And, you know, he might buy a fighter. He should have bought a fighter to assist these, basically, so that this wouldn't happen. So I don't usually recommend this, but, you know, T-Man's one of the best players in the game, and... there go both of his thingy-mabobs. These have now served their purpose. They basically won't be useful for the rest of the game. But I could see all this coming in. We've got the Favs at 130 kilometers an hour. You see how far ahead they are of basically everything else. Sorry, that's really loud. I'm trying to get this point here, because if he gets somebody in there, then obviously I'm going to have a bad time. You see, this probably won't beat the BTR-60 because it's not got any armor. So yeah, I'm trying to kill the Reservistan, but like these just aren't that good against armor at all, so... Like, they don't really do anything. I suppose I got 1. But I lost all 3 Harriers because he opened double cups, so... and then this is the cheaper Tomcat. So I fire all my missiles at him and I hit him once, I guess, and then I don't kill him, I think. No, I just about got him there, I think, with the guns. So, yeah, basically, this is actually a bad matchup for you as the Marine player. I should have essentially pulled the Harriers back as soon as they got those kills, or I could have not opened Harriers and just stuck with the Stingers and just played it slow. But the point is, essentially, this is 25 points for a 50 cal. This is 45 points for 9 men. And I'm paying 45 points for 7 men. Right? Obviously, my squad is better, etc., etc. But I'd much rather be the 20th Motshotsum player in this matchup, because it's just going to be grindy in the town, and at the start he has a huge advantage over me because of the amount of fire support he can bring to bear. So this is the weakest part of your game, and this is why opening 3 Harriers might not be such a good idea, but you saw it dealt with the helicopters. I could have just played even slower and just played the attritional game, because the fact of the matter is, you know, one of my units beats one of his, right, because it's 2 vet, and this is a 40 mil and this is a 30 mil, so yes, it costs more, but it does better, right, because it has more damage and so on. And these are at no vet, so they're going to lose their cohesion really fast. Mine are at 2 vet. So you see he's just getting chunked there. Like the SPW should have been right behind really and helping out, but if he gets too close I'm going to shoot him. So weakest part of the game for me is right now, but because of the Harriers he just got completely bamboozled and most of his units aren't in position. So it's a risky play. You're better off just opening with a bunch of Stingers, I think. So now he brings these to bear, but like this has AT, so I see these coming down because of the Stingers. I'll just wait for him to come around this corner and then hit him with the laws, and I should get it. You know, I'm 2 vet, and this one-shots that, so... yeah. So, we're going to win this fight. My units actually cost more than his, right? This is 90 points, this is 100 and... No, this is 95 points, and this is 90 points, so... But yeah, you see, I don't have anything that can really kill these very fast, so... Because I can buy a TOW 2 or whatever. This is the Tomcat from before. So yeah, the heavy on the air opener with 2nd US is not a good opener. But you see how much value I'm getting out of sending these fabs everywhere? So it beats an SPW at Nova, I suppose. Or at least it did in that case, I think, because I was in cover and he couldn't see me. And yeah, so... 1 DAS rocket, right? You don't want to overbuy these. You don't want to overbuy these. Because he'll just start buying loads and loads and loads of AA. But you see, it's doing a lot of damage, it's routing everybody, right? It's not really killing anybody, but it's routing everybody. Yeah, and, you know, the USMC leaders, because I've got 8 CVs, I can afford to have the USMC leaders, and they're quite cheap, with the guys. So the guys are now even more vetted, and he's basically just feeding. he's running no vet Reservistan straight into 2 vet grenade launchers and these rocket things. So what I'm trying to do is just stabilize so that I can actually buy some units. And you see, I've got the Tomcat up because I don't have an Eyehawk, and I'm worried that he's going to use his MiG-21s to kill my units, right? So I'm just trying to stabilize. I'm trying to play it slow while I build up, because I can only buy like 2 of these a minute, right? Whereas this is what, 45 plus 25, so that's 70. He can buy 4 of those a minute for a total of 8 units, whereas I can buy 2 of these a minute for a total of 4 units. Now, of course, one of these units is better than one of his units, but if he, you know, blobs and what have you, he should win that fight. So I'm just trying to play it slow. So a lot of his guys are getting away, but the longer this goes on, the better it is for me. So I was trying to find those cubs, but I didn't quite find them. He noticed that I was coming down the road and he ran off. And so he's bought a coffin launcher now, which is like the cat feed but better, as we spoke about in the deck review, because of the reload time and everything and the cheapness. It doesn't have smoke though. And yeah, I'm just playing it slow. So we you know, these are replays for learning. It's not like a hype cast or whatever, otherwise we'll never get through it. So just speed it up a bit until something happens. You see the Tomcat is circling. And yeah, you should have bought like more T-55As basically, but I bought a Humvee tow because I was expecting him to buy these because they're good at close range. That's a misplay. I should have smoked there, right? It's got smoke. And so you just put the Humvee tow on this road, and then, you know, anything that comes down, because a tow 2 one-shots a T-55A. There's a Milan 2 doesn't, so that's quite nice for me. And what the reason I'm buying the dragons is that, you know, the dragons will kill these. Whereas, you know, tow 2 can also kill these, but it's a big... You know, you want to get 3 of them, and it's a bulky unit, it's not very mobile, so the Dragon 2 is a better counter to the BTR-60s. So he's not bought any he's not bought any recon, so he's getting some recon up now. I got the Stingers because, you know, I was expecting more of these, but sadly I missed. It does actually have ECM on it. Oh, no it doesn't. I'm just bad, I guess. And yeah, a 2-vet Mark 19 is going to be a no-vet 30mm, right? So yeah, something's happening now. And you see the Dragon 2s kill these fairly cost-effectively. The Humvee tow 2 I could bring over, but I'm still watching this side. And the grenade launchers are helping out. Now, that's the 2 armor coming in there. It took 2 hits to kill my my AVIP. I was quite surprised he got that second hit, given he was low cohesion and everything, but, you know, sometimes that happens. And yeah, the SMAWs, I'm trying to side-shot the T-55s with the SMAWs. This is minimum range, so can't actually shoot at that T-55, so that's not good. He's buying napalm for some reason. Oh no, I see, it's this thing. It's the napalm grad, which in this specific situation is probably not a good idea because, see, I was trying to ambush this, but he can actually see it, so it's not much of an ambush. I lose my supply. But then he comes around the corner, and so I just hit him with the... You see he's firing the HE one as well. The HE one isn't really doing anything, but... Now, I'm probably going to have to turn the volume down here, because it's too loud for the recording. You just hear this blong sound, you can't hear my wonderful voice, which isn't working properly. So yeah, I'm just relying on the veterancy. If I don't kill him, I don't kill him. I'd rather stay alive. Now, this is very funny. I can't kill this because of the minimum range on the dragons. So it's just sat there and I can't shoot it. So I pull back because I'm getting hit by 2 grenade launchers. And yeah, so he's trying to destroy the buildings with the napalm because the napalm otherwise doesn't really do anything to these guys. Like the fire itself, I don't really think does anything. It's just the initial HE from the landing that's doing anything. But yeah, if you put napalm on the building tends to get destroyed, and then I can't hide there anymore, right? So I'm trying to bring up the... So I could have been faster here. I could have brought this up and killed this. Could have been faster. You see, I've got one of these mega pen tanks for the T-55s. Can't rely on the tow 2s because his micro's good, right? And the point is, I'm constantly I'm trying to get this, so I'm sending the lavs around the side, but I just keep running into him. Like, I just got unlucky there, I suppose. I smoke, but, you know, it's 3 T-55, so one of them's going to hit me. And I just can't kill this with the dragon. So then I make a bit of a misclick. Like, he's trying to destroy this building, right? He knows it's not going to damage the unit in the building with the fire, but look, this has been destroyed now, so it's working. So I'm trying to get to this, but it's, yeah, I could have been a bit faster there, let's face it. But eventually I get a close range AT. Oh no, I accidentally load it into the AVIP now. Bringing over the DAS rockets, and as you can see, they can survive a man-pad hit, so you just... Okay, I'll just land, right? But I load it, and I eventually get this. Could have been way faster there. And you see, you use the anti-tank one on that, and the anti-infantry one on the 30 cal. When landed, these can still shoot, so he had to leave there. And the Dragon 2s aren't so bad at close ranges, right? Well, when they're in range, they're good. I lose my CV, though, before the zone finishes capping from killing his CV. So it's still neutral, and that was just misplay. If I just... Like, that guy was gonna die when that building collapsed, and I couldn't get him out. without exposing him to the fire, because once he leaves the building, the fire's going to kill him anyway. So he was dead. But if I just killed this faster, the zone would now be capped in my favour, and I'd be winning. But instead, I'm not winning. I mean, I am on kills. You could quite clearly tell that I'm killing all his guys. But, you know, in general. So we buy the Catfee, super good on this map. He did have a coffin launcher. I think an ATGM killed it. And he just didn't buy another one. And then, yeah, I'm getting the lavs just for... Yeah, this is before I realised that I might as well just bring the Toad ones, because I can't survive the counter battery anyway. This is Napalm and Heiche, which is why he's bringing it. Sadly, he gets the bomb off, so he kills an expensive squad there, but... And then this thing with its 40% ECM gets two-shot by these low accuracy cubs. Still trying to find that napalm thing, but he's got the helos out now. And yeah, I'm buying another CV up. I've got this for the counter battery. Keep in mind this is... So in most of the games you'll see I've got the self-propelled lavs and the self-propelled M109s, but think about the deck review and what I spoke about there. You want the Toad lavs and the Toad 155s. So, yeah, you can still see that because this is actually recon. But yeah, I can't get to this because of where he's put it. He's always got guys. Excuse me, sorry, I guess I'm still a bit ill. Anyway, the M60, it's got 23 pen, right? So as you can see, it's doing quite a bit. So it'll obviously win that fight. I mean, it costs more. This guy should be in the building, really. He'd be taking less suppression. And you see, we're catfeeing him. And we're splitting the volleys in halves. So it doesn't fully kill him sometimes and stuff like that, but... It's not the end of the world. So this napalm does damage infantry and buildings, whereas the other napalm doesn't, or it does so little that you can't tell. Anyway, look, 8 HP, 8 HP, 10% ECM, so it doesn't die. But for whatever reason, this cheaper Tomcat, well, this is the more expensive one. I still didn't get him, so whatever, I'm just bad. So I bought spare CVs because of what happened last time, right? I don't want a time where I'm just not capping the zone for ages. So yeah, he's still playing, and the assault men, like, basically the point of his div is that it's sort of stronger in the early game, because his units are cheaper. And then you get the coffin launchers up. The coffin launchers beat the Catfee because they fire like 4 times as fast. And so he can just kill everybody with the coffin launchers. But we killed the coffin launcher, he didn't buy any more. Now he's buying T-54s. And you see that these 81mm mortars actually do something, right? They're actually useful. That was cool. DC loaded that up and moved it. It's very cool. But at this point in the game, it's very hard for me to lose because, well, look, his power spike has ended and I didn't die. So, he was streaming the game at the time. I don't know if it'll still be up now because, you know, it like deletes itself or whatever. So I went back and watched it later and there were guys in his chat. One guy in particular, Warno's Find a Strategic Mind, who was saying that I had lost at this point, which is very funny. So I won at this point. At this point, I can't lose because the whole point is he's cost efficiency, right? He's early game cost efficiency. I'm mid to late game. My units... One of my units beats one of your units, right? And so once I've killed so many of his units, well, he's just kind of screwed now. So, yeah, he gets the Toad 2, right? He's buying more Reservista and he's playing it out, but, like, what does he do now? I just have too many units. I am struggling to keep everybody supplied because of the Lark thing with the labs. That is kind of hard to get right. He keeps destroying all my buildings. But at this point... I'm just too far ahead. I have too many more units than him, so you know, the AVUP, yeah, I could have saved that if I'd smoked faster, but he is sniping those, right? And they are expensive. But the point is, if I'm killing the bomber every time, then I'm gonna win, right? So yeah, the aero rifleman, so you get an extra Das Rock, so you get the Sea Stallion. And this is the mortars, right? The mortars actually do something now. This never used to matter, right? But he actually does have to move this now. I can see it because of, like, these units. I can see around the sides. So he has to move or he's going to die. And these are on counter battery, whereas these are just firing. So the idea is if he tries to counter battery my mortars, this will kick in and immediately hit his artillery. He does, like, I've got a bunch of guys in the open here, and he can see a lot further than he used to be able to because these buildings are all gone and all this, so he could see all that, and I lost units that I shouldn't have lost and all this, right? So, obviously, it's not like I'm playing a fully perfect game, but the two Humvee TOW2s at 2 vet, both missing a T-54 is, that's life. But doesn't make a difference. These things at close range are almost one-shotting his T-54s, so... This recon thing has phalangers on it. But yeah, he's just way, way, way too far behind. But don't worry, I've lost. Warno's finest strategic mind said I've lost, so... What do I know? I just play the game. So yeah, he's doing like a push, and to be honest, he's getting some kills. But you just got to keep in mind that one of my units is better than one of his units. It's just mine costs more. So if you see a same number of blue and red, I'm actually winning a lot. And there goes some more Reserviston. We can see this. I'm pretty sure. So yes, he's pushing me, and you just give up a little bit of ground. Right now he's bought a better tank, which will beat the M60, but the Humvee TOW2 still outranges it, so he can't hang about. And we know he's back there, because we can see him. So the lavs are going to start shooting again. He's moving around in circles and stuff, but... Basically, my div's way better late game than his div in this kind of environment. If it was a more open environment, I'm pretty sure his tanks... Well, it's hard to say, really. And so, yeah. He's screwed, dude. So... More Reserviston, but he missed his opportunity, and yeah, I hope that was useful. Now we'll go through the next example. I want to show you the KD quickly, but just bleeding out his planes. So yeah, the div's weak early and it gets stronger over time. T-man rank 11, I'm rank 4, so I do actually think he's better than me in general, though. So yeah, the Harrier rockets like this did its job, right? I probably shouldn't have dove the Cubs, but I stalled out his whole deployment and killed the helos. And so that gave me the time, and you see the counter battery thing. The Catfee wasn't really finishing a lot of guys because I was only doing half salvos, but it was suppressing the crap out of them, and other people were getting the kills, or we were gaining ground because he had to fall back. So yeah, I'll show you the next example. Right, so here we are against IWonTheInternet, and he's playing 336Y Soviet Marine. Now, on this map, 336Y Soviet Marine is in some ways better, because it gets the 2,800 meter range ATGM, so around this middle area, he's going to mess you up. His infantry is more cost-effective than mine, because it's like slightly cheaper, right? Like late game, it's the same thing where if it gets to the late game, my infantry's going to beat his. But in the early game, my infantry's expensive. His forward deployment's better than mine because he gets forward deployed AA and this recon tank thing. Stoneware, right? So we open 2 cheap CVs. The infantry CVs, right? Alpha Bravo and Delta Charlie. We've got the fabs going around the sides. One just to look. Yeah, we've opened 4 fabs just because I know he's got the forward deployment, so I got to play slow. He's actually, that's interesting. So, look, if he's not paying, and he's one of the best players in the game, okay? And you see, I almost killed that before he unloaded. So, you got to pay attention. And we're going to get this guy now because he's stuck in the open. Now, mistakes were made here by both sides. So I could smoke here. I just rely on the power of friendship, I suppose. So I'm killing guys in the transports, or at least I'm killing the transports. And you see, you know, I might actually kill this, but I should have smoked, really. Am I going to get it? No, he's target switched. Wonderful. But yeah, I'm losing guys in the transports because my force recon lost to Spetsnaz, which is fair enough, really. So I am making mistakes. I am making mistakes as well. Right, the divs have... this was the day the divs came out. And so he's sending stuff around the sides. I do know about that because he's just blown up my recon that I put there to detect it. This not dying is actually a really big problem. It's got like less than 1 HP. Yeah, so we've been pushed out. Right, I send the DAS scout to check it out, but he's got this for... I'm pretty sure he learnt this from me. You know, although, well, this is a 90km/h transport. But yeah, you bring AA with the Conkers because people will use helicopters to try and kill the Conkers, and then you kill that with your AA. So he's on a +1. You would expect him to be winning at the start, and you'd expect him to be winning right at the end. So I was testing out the swips and how good the swip... Because, like, the point is that I can't really kill this, because it's going to intercept my laws and what have you anyway, most likely. And then I lose vision on him, and that either missed or it intercepted. In fact, does it even do that? Is it just for ATGMs? Anyway, it hits it. Because, yeah, the advantage I've got is that even though my Strikecraft are weak, his AA is actually really weak. His anti-plane AA is weak. His anti-helo AA is better than mine. So I was trying to bait this guy over the Eyehawk and the Stinger, and that works. We hit him with the Eyehawk, and then I buy the Tomcat. I don't know, I guess he makes it. It's a shame, really. I had a lot of AA there, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so we get that. This has 30% ECM. I thought it was 40, my bad. So you see, I'm struggling to deal with... I get the Conkers because the AA was too far behind, but then I lose the DAS Scout because the AA kills it. He's put this on autocell, though, which he shouldn't do, because now he can't move this, so... Got the Favs round the side. Like, this was actually a pretty interesting game. And, you know, so this is 85 points for 14 guys, this is 85 points for 13 guys, and so on. And this is better against infantry. This, I suppose, is better against vehicles. But yeah, you know, just fire the smalls at them tends to mess them up a bit. Spetsnaz do beat small launcher because, you know, if you're in a forest or whatever, this has to be stationary to fire. As does this, but this aims in 1.5 seconds without the vet, and this aims in 2 seconds without the vet. So this will always aim faster than that. Because, look, this is at 3 vet and it's still 1.76, so... So yeah, I'm getting hammered a bit, trying to push back in, but this is before I realised how slow you have to play, basically, so... Mistakes have been made by the mortars, try and get some supply up, but this guy, the fact that I didn't kill that before is a big shame. I mean, he would have probably just replaced it. So, look, this is, you know, 6 dudes, and this is only 4, but because it's got a DMR and 2 machine guns, whereas he just has a DMR and no machine guns. Oh, never mind, the tank. Well, I might have won there. The tank and shot me. I probably would have lost anyway. I was like 2 versus 3 at that point. So yeah, the SWIP, once every 30 seconds I can try and missile him. So I know his AA is bad, but I lost vision for whatever reason, I guess because this just got out of range. So I am losing. But yeah, I don't think the Drozd can protect you from plane missiles. I think it's just ground-based ATGMs. Anyway, you see... Yeah, the Spetsnaz are killing me, right? So, so I'm getting messed up. Like, it's not going very well for me. But as the game goes later, you'd expect me to do better in the towns. In the open, he should always have the advantage because of the 2,800 meters. But, you know, if I hide behind a town and pop out and hit him with that 23 pen, I'm going to win that fight. So, you see I'm using this to scout. Honestly, this game I could have played a lot better. So, yeah, you know, you're learning from me, right? So, like, that should have smoked. I got the Humvee on the road to shoot that, but it wasn't far up enough, and so I didn't shoot it. And yeah, so the Harrier rockets getting the Spetsnaz. Sorry, I've sped it up a bit here because we got a lot to get through. Grenade launcher just about doesn't kill that guy, so making a lot of mistakes, But you see that eventually, you know, these squads, they're more expensive for their price, but eventually I should start winning because of the cat fee and stuff like that. Like, I don't think he gets coffin launchers. So yeah, don't be afraid of using the Tomcat to strafe people with the Vulcan. If you know there's no AA. If there's AA, you probably shouldn't do it. So Sea Knight to scout again. I'm not sure why it's telling it to land there, but yeah, the Igla hits it, and I'm trying to kill that Spetsnaz, but he's keeping it alive, and the SPG-9 got me. So honestly, this is a showcase of more like how you're probably going to play in your first USMC game. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, so it's good to have it in there. Like, I am getting absolutely railed. I didn't realize it was this bad from watching the watching the replay. It's just so yeah, I'm using the lav. It should be the Toad one, right? This is when I started figuring it out. So, but you see, it does actually damage these guys, so it is worth doing. And he can see this because he's got ground surveillance radar, and I don't. It's not that one, it's the Spets one. So he can see further than me, he can see better than me. And the Iglas, you know, they've got... His anti-helo's pretty nice, so... This thing is messing me up. But my idea was, you know, get the M60 with the Mega Pen and just try and close range and so on. Right. But, like, is this gonna die now because I didn't land it immediately? Yeah, it should do. Yeah, there it goes, so... Oh, terrible, terrible plays. Terrible plays. And this thing still messing me up. Can't use a helo against it for obvious reasons. But, no, I honestly think his div's better than mine. Having played with both, I prefer this one. It's just more my style, I guess, man. Because you get cheaper units, so you can do more in the early game. But yeah, Mong's out there again. This time I actually get him with the Phoenixes. NATO finally gets a one to match the MiG-31. It's funny how Pact has a better air force in this game. It's really something. Anyway, the cat fee, right? So you see, this is, you know, it's on low altitude, so because I know that if I stand up, the guys over here will hit me. So yeah, we got a unit there. We damaged this, but didn't kill it. And yeah, yeah, this is probably just going to kill me now, isn't it? That's what happened to that. We got the Strela 10M with the SWIP. So I know his AA is not that good, and so I'm trying to snipe his AA so I can use my strike craft, but my strike craft aren't that good, so it's a bit of a weird dichotomy. He actually outranges my tank with his T-55. But yeah, we've eventually managed to push back in here using the cat feet and the, you know, the DAS rockets and so on, just to get me an angle. But yeah, the T-55s, I guess I need a tank for those. The Spetsnaz, like, he's trying to run up to me with Spetsnaz, and that would work against most divisions. It's not going to work against this one. If I'm in a building, you know, and I've got the USMC riflemen, they're a nice squad as well, so... For whatever reason, I couldn't see this. But you can't stay there because he's on fire, I guess, but... So, yeah, the tank's messing me up. BTR-60's messing me up. We get the Spetsnaz, though, with the mortar. So there you go, the mortars do something, right? Now. They didn't used to, but... not sure what you're shooting at. Oh yeah, because you can't shoot back because the tank is out of range. And I wanted to bring this to so they could both shoot the T-55, and he just died to like BTR-60 fire. So yeah, this could be going better. I don't think I knew about the second Strela, so I was like, I'll buy the Super Cobra because I killed his Strela before. I'm starting to bring it back though. like I said, you know, as the game goes on, sort of towards the mid game, my div's going to be very strong in the mid game. And then it depends on the engagement range for the late game. I think I should win in the late game, but if it's like Vertigo, he's going to win because his tanks shoot further than mine. So we lose the Harrier to the both of these shot and hit. Well, there's lots of AA and it's all vetted and stuff, so it's all fair enough, really. I'm smoking, but he's pushing me out, but I've pushed him out here with the USMC. You'll notice how, like, so noobs literally just blob everything together, whereas if you're a bit better, you know, you've got it a little bit more dispersed. You still want them all able to fire on the same target, so it's kind of hard to get it right, but... And then, yeah, he sent a fighter to kill the Super Cobra. If you've got the Super Cobra up, you always want a fighter up. But yeah, do you see, like with the ECM and with the changes to plane guns, I'm not dead, so he buys a third plane to shoot at it, and he eventually gets it third time lucky, right? So, I guess I should have pulled it back. I just didn't expect him to keep buying planes, but you'll notice he has no reinforcements coming now. And I now have a plane up. But like he's got no reinforcements coming because he just bought 3 planes in a row. So it's hard to... Well, okay, I suppose he must have had lots of points saved up. And, you know, the Stinger can see the Strela. I'm trying to snipe the Strela. Using the Totus on the defensive. And, yeah, that just didn't drop and then it got hit. I don't... It's just not very good, this, but it's the best you've got. We did eventually kill that AA piece. Not sure what's going on here. And so I got a lav around the side. The lav actually killed the T-55 on the side armor because of the pen, so that's worth noting. This has its own smoke, so you just smoke right in front of yourself and then you're all good. Yeah, but some of them like don't have smoke, even though they've got smoke on the model. And they say it's because it bugs out. I don't know what's the bug, it works. So just you can't just press B, you gotta press B and press it right in front of it or it doesn't work, so. But yeah, he just lost like a lot of empty transports, I guess, because they might have had people in them actually. Yeah, Strela's very good against DAS rockets. But now, you know, he's in the open and I'm not, so now I've got a big advantage now. And this lav, look how much work this lav has put in. He's called Boyle, let's check him out at the end. And I'm trying to get him with this cat fee, but it's really not... I mean, it's just so much worse than a coffin launcher, it's really quite absurd. So, I think they should just buff him a little bit. But yeah, he's losing all his infantry in the open to the M60s, because... The whole point is that he outranges me, but at close range I'm gonna win, because I've got 23 pen. Obviously not in that case, because I was out of range. But yeah, he eventually got the lav. This guy doesn't have AT, which is something you notice. I don't have my guys on auto cover because it messes up the tanks, and I'm trying to move in over here. I'm using the Sea Knight to scout. It dies. MiG-23 can't do much to a Tomcat because I outrange him. And then I should have popped smoke here. So instead I lose 2 units there. So that was like a whole volley to kill one guy, but yeah, could have not done a whole volley. But you need the Lark really because of how much the resupply cost is on these. But yeah, he's finally bringing out like the Strat bombers. He's going for this, but I've got the Eyehawk, right? No, the Eyehawk's dead. I've got the Tomcat, so he ends up getting my cat fee there. But I kill his Strat bomber, so I think it's worth it, frankly. But the cat fee, I needed that to kill these guys, so that's a big problem. And so he smoked the corner, but I've got the cat fee, so. You know, that's a very much a short-term kind of panic strategy. You know, he doesn't really have... If there was like 2 minutes left, this would be a great idea, but there isn't, so as long as I don't panic, yeah, I literally just cat feed it. It had like 1 round left and I got it with the last round. the SWIP actually does some at this time. And the Strelas can't really, you know, it's got 30% ECM, and these are just not great against planes. So this could be going a lot better. I think he ran out of RP. Yeah, these are super, super cool because they've got 1,025 meters range. But yeah, I missed the TOW 2 on him, and so he killed me. I just assumed it would hit because he had 42% accuracy and I had 65, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, trying to get the leader in there. He does have a law and he's got smoke, so... Oh, but he can actually see me there? Oh, okay. Right, fine. But at this point I've got... I've got 3 Tomcats out because he kept buying the planes and they were repairing or whatever, so I kept having to buy more. And yeah, the SWIP, oh, miss, but you know, we hit twice before, but this is what it is. And so, you see, I should have gone for the AA there. I should have gone for the AA there, but you could tell it's going very, very well for me now. Because, like, look how many more units I have than him, and my units cost more. So if I've got more units than you and mine cost more, it's going very, very well, so... He obviously, you know, that I'm not on a tick or anything, so he probably thinks it's fine. And, yeah, I'm smoking the corner myself, but I've actually got infantry to support it, and I know he doesn't have coffin launchers, so... So we got that. Super Cobra out, gets the guy, but then the Strela, right? Strela hits it, so I land. But then this guy hits it with an RPG-16 because of the 1,025 meters range. Super good piece of kit. Anyway, so he is mortaring me, and that's really messing me up, actually. So he had a bunch of infantry there, and I killed it. But at this, and you see C-Knight in front of the Super Cobra. At this point, he's basically collapsed, right? I've got the run-of-the-mill. This, I'm just retarded, I guess, and I just die. Okay. Oh, I did that. It is what it is. But yeah, he's definitely not getting back in here, and I'm in here. So we're pulling it back. These have smoke, right? I could smoke. His tanks obviously beat me in the open, but because I keep killing his AA, the SWIPs can just keep coming around and hitting these, and he has to always be careful about that. I'm taking losses I don't have to take. I don't know what was with me today. But yeah, he can't use his planes. He cannot use his planes. And I can use my planes. Even though my strike craft's worse than his, I can use it. So he's, you know, he's smoking the corner again, but, you know, we got the Catfee, we got the Harriers and so on, so I think I Harrier this one. I don't think it kills him, though. Yeah, because with the old bomb drop pattern on, like, the second UK Harriers, that would kill him, but... So the KA-29, really nice unit. It's obviously doing a lot of damage to these 7-man squads, and, you know, I was running out of infantry, that's why... sorry, I was... You know, I couldn't afford loads of... He was buying loads of infantry, so I bought the gunners so I could get a lot of units out fast. So, you know, front shot, side shot, we get it. And now I'm landing here. He's got nothing left to stop me. He's got nothing left to stop me here. And I was backing up with a Super Cobra, and I was getting back in Bravo, so he surrendered, which is fair enough, really. It could have been a much cleaner game. I mean, he's rank 96, so he's a good player. I definitely could have played better. Definitely could have played better, but I hope you learned something, and now we'll zoom along to the next example. Right, so back on Stoneware Duel for this next example. I'm against Astania, who's like top 100, something like that, playing as 2Y. So 2Y is very nice against this division because we're both weak in the early game, and then in the late game he kind of outscales me, but mid-game I have an advantage. So the idea is, can I beat him in the mid-game? So... yeah, we've got the Favs going around the sides again. I learnt that from last time. Favs straight around the sides. Try and snipe some artillery. Stingers, because 2Y can open with the MI-24K and the MiG and the Su-25 and just kill all your stuff on the road. So lots of Stingers. And this time I'm just going to play it a little bit slower, but not too slow. It's just, this is why the guides are structured the way they are, with here's the deck, here's how it plays, and then here's a bunch of examples of me playing it. Because it's very easy to talk about theory, right? But look, spoke about this last time. 2 bursts, you're dead. So better be paying attention when you're up against these. So sadly this is on attack move, so this one's going to die. If I'd had it on fast move, it might have got around the side in time and then got away, so that's my bad. Lav beats BTR 80. Because, of course it does. It's got an autocannon. He has ground surveillance radar and I don't. But yeah, and his infantry is resolute for free. Whereas mine's like resolute and 1 vet for 5 points or whatever, but 2Y is generally seen as quite a strong division. Basically, bad players say it's OP for the same reason bad players say 2nd Marine is OP, and that's because it's very good at a narrow engagement. And players who don't play the game a lot, like, I mean, I don't have anything against them, right? It's just the way it is. They go outside, they do other things with their time. They tend to play narrow because it's hard to control a wide front. And so, so they play narrow, and they play into people of similar scale level who play narrow, and they're like 2Y OP, Marines OP, because they're playing like 1 lane brain, and these very powerful units are going to win in the lane brain. The idea is they cost a lot more, so your enemy can go around the sides. So he's doing well with the BTR-80s and the Conkers around the flanks. That's very smart of him. The T-72s I can't really kill, because the HE round doesn't go as far as the anti-infantry round. It's very strange. Like, the small HE round, sorry, heat round, should definitely go further than an M72 law. But they go the same. So, yeah, you'd expect this to be a fav thing. If I'd hidden it better, I just couldn't get far enough away, right? Hide it in the reverse of the town. So yes, he's got Saperi RPO, like, he's... My units cost more than his. My infantry cost more than his, so... It's hard in the early game. So I'm actually getting hammered. I guess this is in AT range. Alright, he's got like no cohesion, so he's missing. But yeah, the assault men, you know, we're winning here, but we're losing here because he has more guys here and I have more guys here. So, so we got the Stinger to, you know, protect against the helicopters. You're weak against helicopters on this div. And I would love to push, but... Because I know he doesn't have much infantry left because I've been killing it. But I'm dumb. I should be sending this forward. Really, I need a supply up. But you may have seen, this smoke is rising from a BMP-1, which he had here to shoot the reinforcements. And that's why the Humvee TOW 2 is there to kill the BMP-1. So BTR-80's around the sides. I know it's probably not going to have AA with it, because 2Y, what kind of close range, you know, AA does it get for wraparound attacks? Not much. So that was a lot of rockets. But like the double 50 cal and the Cobra gun will finish it off. Didn't really know about this, but... So yeah, he's pushing me out. This has smoke, so I could smoke here. I do. And then I'm like, oh, I try and run away. I guess I should have just stayed there. I think I'm dead either way. Because once I leave the smoke, this is going to shoot me again. So, the same with this. And it's only 3 guys, so... I guess I should have stayed and just tried to keep the points for as long as possible. I don't know, really. Yeah, I should have, because it died. It wouldn't have made too much of a difference, but basically, you know, because now he's going to get points until I get that back. So that would be an extra 20 points or whatever for however long it lived. Really, what I should have had was a mortar. Smoke mortar, smoke and all that. And then he would have been less likely to go in. So I'm using the helicopters because I've noticed he doesn't have any AA, right? So a lot of this... That's why it's so hard to say do this, do that, because it really depends what your opponent's doing. If you just, you know, if you buy AA, if you buy helos when you've seen loads of opponent AA, then obviously you're going to die. But I've not seen much AA out of him, so I'm buying a few more helicopters this time. And you see C-Knight in front of Super Cobra, right? We've got the Catfee up a little bit earlier. Super useful piece of kit. There's going to be many, many comments about me saying piece of kit. Anyway, I need to start reading again, learn some new words. Chutzpah. Anyway. So that's a nice volley. I guess I should have split it, because, you know, you only need a few to kill whatever it is, and then the rest is just kind of wasted. But we've almost secured our opening to get back in here. The Force Recon have pushed all the way up. And he's started to buy Acacias now. Once again, if you're watching these examples without watching the deck review, you've missed the whole point of the guide, right? So go back and watch the deck review, because it's relevant. Because you'll see me bring in the self-propelled mortars and howitzers, but right now it's not worth bringing those, so that's my mistake. Anyway, yeah. Just trying to secure the sides, and I'm playing it like reasonably slow, like I'm not rushing like I was last time. But I know that if I play too slow, there's going to be 10 million T8EUs, and I'm not going to be able to do anything about it, so... Just trying to secure the edge of this. We've got the labs in and stuff because there isn't as much stopping me from coming down this road like there was last time. But you'll notice the Eyehawk's in the same place, the Totu's in the same place, so... And, you know, this position is good, and this position is good, and these are in the same place, so... It's worth thinking about. It's one of the reasons I could do a bit better in tournaments. People just watch my games, they know what I'm going to do, but I think it's worth it. You know, it just doesn't really matter if I lose a tournament. I'd much rather help you guys, help the viewer, than lose my competitive advantage. There are people who feel otherwise about their own situation, and they refuse to tell people things because they want to win. Anyway, T72B1, right, and I'd hit it from the front, so it lost some stuff, and I know that this division doesn't get cubs, so I thought, one Osa probably back here, I'll be fine. And I was. I mean, I didn't die. I got hit. And I got that tank with that swip. But what I should have done is evac'd it a bit earlier, and then this probably wouldn't have even... No, it probably still would have shot me. It's very high there, and it's very close, so... The supply has smoke. Don't forget the supply has smoke. So I'm trying to get the Stinger over, but he's engaged on this grenade launchers, I think. He's probably not going to live very long. I'm trying to get into, like, the smoke, basically. So we get in with the Stinger, and I was moving the Eyehawk up as well to hit it. So even if the Stinger had missed, the Eyehawk would have got 3 rounds off it. You'd expect it to die, really. So yeah, he's still very much in this, but I need to keep the pressure on so that he doesn't start buying all these T8EUs and killing me. So I need to keep pushing him, but I'm just playing it kind of... You know, I'm not losing people. I'm not rushing. I'm pressuring, but I'm not rushing. Smoke the wrong thing, so I'm dumb. So as you play more, you just get better at doing that. So one half of it is the watching, and so we know about the Acacias now, so I'm immediately sending something to go around the side and try and kill it. But he's got that thought out. This was the last thing I sent around the side to go and kill it, and the unspeakable one was there, which is very rare to see something like that there, so... He clearly knows what I'm about. I've had this name for a while now, so everybody knows it's me. I wanted to keep it for the second Marine Guide, because obviously that's who they are, servants of Epstein. You know, they didn't sign up knowing that was the case, but that is the case. So that's obviously a big problem, losing the cat feed. So that was just a mistake. I assumed I'd be covered from there because of the trees, but, you know, clearly not. And you'll notice the Sea Knight is in front, so the Sea Knight absorbs the rounds. I'm just feeding, and you see the Sea Knight absorb that round there, but he definitely didn't just right-click the Super Cobra first. So, you know, it's not a foolproof strategy, but it works okay. So yeah, so very... You know, I'm trying to bring you games from good enemies, so we got a T64 AK in here. I appreciate it's sped up, but the whole point is this is a guide, it's not a hype cast or whatever. There's plenty of second Marine hype cast gameplay, whatever you want to call it, on the channel. So, AT4s, Dragons, Assault Men, and we all just came in, you know, one on the right, one on the left, one down mid, and then at least one of them's going to get a side shot, and we got that tank. Fav's coming round, and I know I have to dodge something that was in here. I didn't know which building it was in exactly, but I knew it was around here somewhere, because it got the lav, so I'm going all the way around. Try and get those Acacias. And, yeah, you know, I'm just waiting for the heals. I've got the Lark. Losing the Catfee was a really big problem, because Like, having it here was a mistake. It should have been round here, because there's more cover here. So I was moving it over and it got shot, so, you know, my bad. Not the first time that's happened. Totu fired, I immediately move what building it's in, because I know he's got a Katsias up, and even if he doesn't, you should just assume he's going to RT it, so... And you'll notice I'm moving the buildings, but I didn't move this building, so he's still going to die. So the reason I brought him out here was because there were shells landing back here, so I didn't want to retreat into more shells and die. And yeah, the AT4s, we've got the counter battery out. This should just be the towed one. I've put this on return fire, or hold fire. It's return fire, because I don't want to accidentally reveal my position. But yeah, I could have killed that, and I definitely could have killed these, so I noticed now, oh, I could kill these, because they're just little trucks. I don't know what's in them, but I know it's a UAS, so it's got very good optics. So yeah, this is just already paid for itself. And now it's doubly paid for itself, so you can get a lot of value out of these. A lot of people... Basically, you know, my gameplay was Age of Empires. As a kid, I played Age of Empires. And so, in RTS games, like, flanking and raiding is, like, most of the game. Or at least, it's at least half. Because your opponent actually has, like, you know, whatever, berry bushes and gold mines and barracks back here. And so you've got to flank and kill that, otherwise you're just fighting his army and you're going to lose. So, that's, like, a huge part of the game. Whereas a lot of people, like, they see this happen and they're immediately like, it's scummy, it's scummy, it's scummy, it's scummy. No, it isn't. This is just normal RTS gameplay. But Warno is basically Babby's first RTS. And so the people who play it aren't used to this. It's worth pointing out that Broken Arrow is like Amoeba RTS. it's you know, I've not yet been conceived's first RTS. If Warno is Babby's first RTS, yeah, there's Broken Arrow. You get even fewer units. So anyway, game's becoming a bit static now, but I'm just biding my time. I got the mortar. I didn't get the Acacias though, which is a problem. And the idea is I want to push in here and I want to not die while doing it. So I've got the second cat fee because you get 2, which is nice. I think the burrito you only get 1 as well, which is just doesn't make any sense. You should get 2 really, or it should come at 2 there. So he can't use his planes because I've got Ihawks and Tomcats. And yeah, I mean look, that's a lot of missiles. So and the Ihawk, even if I hadn't hit him there, the Ihawks and the Stingers would have got him. So yeah, I'm trying to break in, I'm trying to get the supply up, but it's hard with the Lav Vs. I was accidentally selling them, which is why I said in the deck review you shouldn't sell them. Look, this is being sold. Because I just found, oh, I can't resupply these guys unless I put this right next to it, and if this dies, the game ends. So yeah, just slowly pushing in. Could be doing a better job. Walking into RT. Next Cat Fee salvo, get some more of them. And, you know... Use half a salvo. Maybe it would have killed this if I'd used the full salvo, but it's better to, you know, he's no cohesion now, so as long as I've got guys there ready to fight, he's still dead. Just playing around the margins, right? It goes back to that kind of like newer players. Obviously it's better to kill people than not kill them because they're going to get resupplied and they're going to come back and hurt you. But if you lose your own unit to kill the enemy, I think that's a less favourable outcome. Anyway, I accidentally cat-feed my own guy there and he died, so, you know, I'm obviously a new player as well. I'm a Amoeba, RTS, whatever, so... So, yeah, I buy the seeds because I know he's got Osas and Briusas, but this seed with the Shrike is really bad. It's really bad. I was trying to keep the Swip safe, but it didn't, like, you could see that, but it didn't launch on it. I evac because of the MiG-29. Tomcat comes out, he's flying over the Ihawk and the Tomcat and the Stingers, so I should just win. I've got 2 Tomcats now, so... I bought the second one just here, just in case I lost that fight, because sometimes, even with all that, you still lose, so I just thought better safe than sorry. I'm sort of playing it slow. But I need to keep the pressure on, because if he gets too many T-80Us, I'm dead. So yeah, still trying to come in on this side, still trying to counter battery. But yeah, he's getting away. I guess I should have had both of them with a CV next to them and all this, so... So yeah, just need to make sure he doesn't get back in here. I do want to attack here, but this is where he's strongest because of his tanks in the open, whereas here, this is where I'm strongest because it's like Dragon 2 range, the M60 ERAs can shoot and all this, so... So yeah, we're trying to counter battery each other, still getting used to this new system. And yeah, I bring the Toad stuff now instead. Although, you know, a Toad one there would probably have died, because that direct hit would have killed it. So yeah, the Shrike, piece of garbage, doesn't do anything. And he's smoking this, and as soon as he started smoking that, I was like, oh, he's going to try something here. So we start deploying reinforcements, and we move guys to the edges of the buildings. I figure he's going to try something around here somewhere. Toad 2 gets a kill, and then I move it, hopefully. No, I guess I didn't notice it got the kill. And now he's going to arty it, so... Oh, I should have moved that. So yeah, knowing the theory and doing the execution are two different things. You do not become a good player only by watching the videos. You need to... And the Shrike misses again. And we know there's somebody in here, because I'm pretty sure this false recon could see him, so... Still trying to counter battery. The SWIP came in, and I think it missed as well. And yeah, he wants to smoke the corner. If only I'd moved this... Because that's a 100-point unit. But yeah, we got one of the Acacias with the counter battery, so that's nice. We lose the Toad too. And yeah, this guy was really good, actually. It's a really interesting game. But yeah, I should have sent like another lav around the side maybe, but he had it pretty locked down. He keeps buying planes, which he just shouldn't do. He should know that he can't use them. So the whole point of the siege was to sort of protect this, but it evac'd the wrong way, and it didn't even shoot, and so on. I don't know if he's got these switched off now, or if it's just the Shrike is so bad that it's just not firing. So we missed that, which is a really big problem, actually. I could have killed 85 points there if I'd hit it. And now it's going to sit there and shoot ATGMs at me, so... So the idea was get the M60s up here and, you know, clear this out with the M60s, but there's lots of ATGMs, so... So the lab should really be engaging that. This is on counter, but he's moved that, so it's on counter battery. He smokes the corner, so we send in the AT4s, but I think he knows about this. Like, I don't know how he knew, but he just seemed to immediately know that I was doing that. I guess he just must have... Oh yeah, he probably saw this leave this building and come this way. Or he just, you know... He was probably like, oh, this isn't a good idea. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to know to predict what's going to happen. Anyway, Catfee gets the Svesvedka. We really need to fix a reload time on that. And so we get the tank between the, you know, the 26 USMC guys. And this guy's going to get side shot now because I'm retarded. But because it's got the ERA, it survives a Conquer side shot. But I'm still retarded, so... Can't fix stupid. And yeah, the grenade launchers keep phasing me out. But at this point, I'm pretty confident in the fact that I'm going to win. I know I'm ahead on the kills. And every few minutes, the Catfee's going to kill more of his guys. So we send in the Harriers to get the Harrier with Intruder behind. The Harrier died, but we got the Briusa, and the Harrier dropped on the Briusa tank combo, but it didn't get the tank because they've changed the drop pattern on those Harriers, I think. I've not tried the second UK one specifically, but it used to be that they would basically one-shot 3 top armor tanks because of how close to the ground they dropped. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I was wrong on that, but they've definitely changed it. So yeah, it's just attritional warfare. I'm just trying to kill all these ATGMs, right? But I've got supply issues because of the... I was selling the labs, right? But yeah, we are... Look how much stuff he's losing compared to me. And I do want to attack this, but it's just so hard to do. So Seed comes out again. It actually hit something. I think that's... we don't know what killed the Bruise, so it might have been the Harrier, but... I'm definitely winning this. It's just taking ages. And as the game goes on, you know, he's going to get more of these tanks. But because I'm killing the AA, and at close ranges, the ERA one is more than a match for these tanks. It's just at long ranges I lose. So here, it's just so hard to do anything. So there, I just cat feed another one of my own guys. I do that a lot. Anyway, he just keeps smoking the corner, but every time he does this, I'm going to kill the CV pretty fast. So it just doesn't make sense for him to keep doing it. I'm more than happy to oblige him. Look, so he's clearly not cheating, otherwise he wouldn't have driven into that, would he? If he knew it was there. So yeah, if I lose one unit to kill one Chiker, I really don't care. And then he disconnects. But I mean, come on, man! I was 2k up on kills, so I think that was a win. I was just getting into the zone on the left as well. So yeah, maybe it was a disconnect, but and yeah, the Catfee getting all the teammates. I had planes left, he didn't have planes left. He was losing all his arty as well. Yeah, so it was going well. So let's go on to the next example. Right, so this game is against Tomato Addicted. He's like rank 7 or something. Likes to play the lighter divs. Anyway, I was going to show you how to deal with air spam. So Erster's a much stronger div than 2nd Marine. This is the strongest div in Landjut. For now, I mean, obviously things get nerfed and buffed, right? But yeah, so you spot your enemy spending 1/3 of his deployment on planes, and I'll show you his rank. Like, he's not a bad player, but this was a bad strategy. So he assumed I was going to do the heli opener, which is why I don't do it. And yeah, so you know, what is that? 470 points on planes. So that's 1/3 of his opener. Just opened with the 4 favs, right? So I know he gets forward deployed stingers, so I wouldn't. Why would I open helis into forward deployed stingers? Doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I mean, this he gets that right. So good for him. The guns on these are pretty good. This one's got, you know, a nice amount of ammo. The other ones run out pretty fast. So yeah, he lands in front of me, and I don't think I managed to like kill it because yeah, it just takes off before you can shoot it, which is it's kind of silly, really, but it's the way it is, and I know it's going to do that. Anyway, I bought a Tomcat, which was dumb of me. I really should not have bought that. I just should have bought an Ito, because now I've got a minute where I haven't got any income, and I didn't really accomplish anything. So I didn't know he had 3 jets. I thought it was just like 1 or something, or maybe 2. I didn't know about the F-18. Thought it was just these woodness things. So I was like, okay, I could beat those, no problem. But no, it was dumb of me to buy that. I should have just bought an iHawk. Might have said Ito by accident. This I haven't loaded up and moved because I'm monging out because of the you got to click very fast when all these planes are strafing you. But he can't get in Foxtrot. And he doesn't really have any units on the ground because he's opened 3 fighters and a rocket plane. Because yeah, he obviously assumed. Well, we can assume that he assumed that I was gonna open with the iHawks, but yeah, I don't know, like, this is just dumb. I just shouldn't be doing this. This is a mistake. I shouldn't be buying the Tomcats. I should just be buying the iHawks. So I lose a Tomcat there because, you know, it's a 3v1 and what have you. So I have to evac the second one. So that was a waste, really. I mean, he's out of ammo now, which is interesting. So maybe I could have left the other one in. Anyway, he's trying to get me with the AMX-10 RC equivalents, and I've got, you know, Humvee TOW and the M60A1, and we're getting side shots. So we kill 2 of those, kill the CV over here with the LAV, because I figure, okay, so now he's bought 4 planes. He cannot have anything on the ground, so I'm just moving over the ground into him. You know, he hid that behind because the Force Recon almost killed it, and then these were hurting it. He gets the Humvee TOW by smoking and driving through the smoke to get it. And then we both miss each other. Oh, well, okay, he hits me, but if I'd hit him there, he would have died, because this has 23 pen. But I did not hit him. So, yeah, I'm on a +1 despite all this, because I killed his CV, and he doesn't have any ground units, because he keeps buying planes. So, power of the 2 armor there. right? If it didn't have 2 armor, it'd be dead, so that's nice to have. So I replace the Humvee tow, and the idea is I'm just going to push here, because there's no way he's got any units, because I've seen 4 planes now. So now I buy the Eyehawk, but I could have done this much, much, much faster if I had not bought... Like, this is the one I had before, right? One of the 2 I had before. One got shot down. But if I had... Because this is 2 minutes income. If instead of buying those 2 Tomcats, I'd got the Eyehawk out earlier and just bought, you know, a second Eyehawk, basically, and some more ground units, then I'd be sorted. But then this would have probably got my tank or whatever. But no, there would have been 2 Eyehawks here, so no, it wouldn't. So there you go, I got something, and then I evac because I thought those 3 planes are going to get me. This guy missed me, I suppose. Less than 50% accuracy, apparently. It's weird. Huh. Oh, it's a red eye. It's a red eye. It's not a stinger, it's a red eye. But yeah, he outranges my tanks. So that is a problem. I should have, like, hidden better behind here or whatever, so he's going to get that stinger now as well. So if I hadn't bought those Tomcats, I'd be doing much better. I mean, I have won, but I would have won a lot better. If that makes sense. Instead of trying to contest him in the air, I should have just played more on the ground. And so he reverses into the open, then the Humvee tow gets him. I'm going to drive over here, and, you know, this is just going to die to the lav. So yeah, I'm trying to fight air superiority, and, you know, he went in on the Harrier, and so the Tomcat killed the F-18 because he was shooting at the Harrier, and I've got this Eyehawk here, so it's obvious I would win that fight. But hey, he hit both of them, so, you know, maybe I would have died if he got a bit better on the RNG, but, you know, 3v1. Yeah, at this point he's just completely screwed. I was just gonna, you know, I blocked him off here, I'm in here, he's got some tanks coming, but I've got the tow 2s up, and they one-shot those, so he just surrenders. And then I matched him again, and he immediately quit, so I think I upset him a bit with that game. his rank was higher at the time. It's like 10 or something. He's a good player, but yeah, it's just if they open loads of planes, if they open loads of fighters, don't start buying fighters. That's the moral of the story. That's why I put it in. It's not just a dab on people. If they open loads of fighters, don't open fighters, right? Don't start buying fighters minute after minute. Just buy the Eyehawks, sit back. Those fighters are useless unless you buy fighters or bombers, right? Because what's the point of the fighter? Yes, it can strafe a couple things on the ground. You do have to watch out for that. But apart from that, the role of the fighter is to shoot other planes, right? It is a plane fighter, an air superiority fighter. And so when he opened 3 planes, I shouldn't have bought the Tomcats. I mean, I won, but there was no guarantee of that. If he'd swapped into ground stuff faster instead of buying whatever 2 more planes, then he would have been able to push me out or what have you. So I just shouldn't have bought the Tomcats. Next example. Right, so this guy's called Great Opponent. Every time I see him, he's on packed mech slop, so he's pretty good with it. Factory Duel. He's a decent player, but the idea is... So yes, I'm a slow div, but his div is slower, and so I should push the sides, right? And I should always be sending these favs around the sides anyway. But I know he doesn't have airborne forward deployment either. I know it's going to be fighting for here, and this is where the... this is a nice map for this div, frankly, because of the 23 pen on these, and there's not many places where the max gun range matters. I suppose down here it matters a lot. So the Fav gets there, forces him to unload, right? It doesn't kill him because, you know, he unloaded. For whatever reason, I can't see that with very good optics stood right here. So, okay, I can see it there. Right, so now I can see it. And yeah, I'm just trying to get around the side of him and use the Favs, but I'm not pushing like super massively, like, oh, let's take Golf, let's take Bravo. This, sadly, because it was on a attack move, it stopped and started shooting here. I wanted it to sort of get out of the way, but whatever. My plan is to fight for mid. So I end up... Actually, he gets the first 3 kills. I didn't get any of his guys. But he was expecting me to do a mega push here, clearly, because look how much he put there. And, yeah, the BT... I haven't had any kills in 1.5 minutes, so he's very far ahead of me, actually. So you see the CV tank with the ERA tank, right? Because it's only 10 points more than the regular one. It is the regular one, not the ERA one, right, if that makes sense. It's based off the regular one. So I smoked, but he still got me, but that's life, innit? And the idea is, he outranges me, so I'm going to hide behind this house and then poke out and blight him. So he buys early arty because he's expecting a static game. It is a static game, but I am going to, you know, I'm not just going to sit here and get artied. I'm going to use the tanks that I bought to try and hurt him. So yeah, these are nice against infantry because of the 50 cal. So yeah, 2 of them, 1 at 3 vet, 1 at 2 vet is obviously going to clean up a whatever 6-man, 7-man, 8-man squad. And yeah, that hits me twice in a row, which is really bad news. But whatever, it happens, right? And it was my fault for doing that so aggressively. The Acacia, he's trying to shoot me with it, and I don't know it's there, right? Because it's not intelligent to buy artillery this early when your front line isn't solid. So I do reverse into it, and he does hit me. But, you know, you just keep it moving. I mean, these tanks aren't that slow, but I'm used to British tanks which go at 35 kilometers an hour, despite having a better power-to-weight ratio than the AMX-30B2 in real life, which goes at 70 in this game. So, yeah, we're getting pushed on the right, because he had extra units here, and so it makes sense. I bought a mortar for smoke. We spoke about how... I'm not going to keep bringing this up, but I guess I am. The towed ones right now are better than the self-propelled ones for the mortars and the howitzers. Whether or not it stays like that, I don't know, but I've told you how to deal with it if it doesn't. So yeah, he's just driving into me. So he loses a BMP-3, a BTR-80, and a motor strokey to the Force Recon. So that was really unintelligent of him. But if he hadn't gone so fast, these reinforcements would arrive anyway. So we're sorted either way. We're sorted either way. He's pushing me on the left. But yeah, it's weird that the guy with the heavier div is pushing the flanks. He should be pushing mid and fighting me. But he knows these tanks are here, so I guess he doesn't want to. Or he's just trying to do a bit of everything, which is not what his div's good at, so it's not going to work out for him, basically. The Acacia is doing damage. I haven't managed to buy my own counter battery yet. I've got the mortar for the smoke. These have smoke. You need to know that. Just dropping back behind the buildings. And yeah, the BMP-3... Yeah, the Strela 10M3s are really good. So, I mean, they cost 120 points for a reason. So I have to land, and over here, I mean, he's an original pancake with 3 machine guns, and, you know, this guy with the DMR and the machine guns and the M60, you'd expect me to win that, really. I do lose the LAV to the BMP-3, it is sped up, can't take off in time. This BMP-3 is causing me a lot of trouble. I'm just trying to hide behind these houses, but he could, like, the garage is permeable or whatever, or shot me through the garden or something. So, yeah, T80BV showed up. He's starting to push mid now, which is what he should have done from the start, really. I load that up so it doesn't die. If I hadn't done that, it would have died. I unloaded it because I thought the BMP-3 was going to hit it. So, that's your advanced strats. And, yeah, you can use these for HE. They actually do damage. And the assault men are going to really mess people up, but this gun will counter the assault men. And yeah, the BMP-3 is causing me some problems. So, okay, I kind of missed that, but you saw what happened. 23 pen, 2 shots to T80BV at these close ranges, right? And I got the first shot off because I was in cover out stationary, he moved into me. So, this div is really nice on this map. Unless, you know, unless you get hit at the start when you still build it up. So we're just trying to use the flanks and... at least we make it out that time. We've got the Dragon 2s, which are nice on this map as well, because they're usually in range. And, yeah, ERA tank just nailed a BMP-3 in one shot. It's 23 pen at its max range, which means it's more like 25 there, which is definitely going to get that 5 armor vehicle. So, really nice tank. At these ranges. If you're on vertigo, you're going to have a lot of problems because the enemy's going to outrange you, but you can always hide behind the buildings. It's just the tank isn't very fast, so it is kind of hard to do that. See, look at that. Look at that. Like, this is beating a T80BV at close range. Obviously, at long range, the T80BV is going to win. So it's a cool tank. He's RTing me again. He's destroying the buildings now, so I've got less places to hide. But I mean, I've just out-traded him. Trying to get the lavs around to kill the Acacias. And I figure, you know, the next place to push is Bravo, because I saw him drive all his guys into me and die. I figured, well, whatever. He mustn't have much behind it now. Just using the mortars to HE that. Oh, I did buy the counter battery one. And we might get him. We do! So, there you go. But the Toad one would have done a better job at that, because it's got 5 kilometers more range. So yeah, we got the Acacia. He is pushing me here, but I just send the Super Cobra rocket, because I noticed there was no AA there. It's not doing a whole lot, but it's suppressing them. And we got that SWIP thing. So, there he goes. He buys a rocket one. And I've got an Eyehawk. I've got 2 Eyehawks. So there he goes. And this is a very overlooking game. He's playing a bit more because I guess he, you know, you gotta try, right? But I've got the lav around the side to stop him from reinforcing this. So that I can push this more easily if he can't reinforce it. These guys are just caught out here with nothing going for them. I'm trying to push over here, but my AA, you are weak against helos as this div, and so I'm just losing everybody to stingers. Do I switch to smoke yet, or no? So, yeah, this was, I guess, a mistake. I should have just attacked him, you know, do one thing at once. He buys the napalm one because it's 3 per card, whereas the HE wants 2 per card, so I guess that's why he brings it. And he gets at least 2 units there because it routes into the fire. So yeah, this was a mistake. I'm taking huge losses here for no reason. I believe he got out. The SWIP is back. But it gets 2 tapped by Strellas. It's just absurd, really, but okay. And yeah, so I'm getting hammered a bit, and then he just drives into my 23 pen tank again and dies, so he needs to slow it down a bit. So I figure, okay, there's not much here. I will send the Sea Knight Helos just to take that. I mean, the game's over. We don't really have to pay attention anymore, so I am making mistakes, but it literally doesn't matter. Stinger coming to try and... Like, this guy has done a lot of work. This Mi-24V, Warno Freychuk, has done a lot of work there. Getting the flanking. This is what I spoke about with it. I put down an attack move, and it was just shooting the HE rounds at it and doing nothing, and now it's dead. Whereas, if it had just not done that, you know, so you got to be very, very careful. And we get the BMP3, but that guy didn't have to die. He can't reinforce this because the labs keep killing everybody, so I'm definitely getting in here, and he's had enough. So, I'll show you his rank. It wasn't that low. He's a decent player. 86, see? So, he is a good opponent. He's better than... You know, how many copies has the game sold? 300,000, and he's in the top 100. So he's like 0.001% top player or whatever. Anyway, next example. Right, so this is a mirror against rank 14 currently. I don't know what rank he was at the time. It was probably a bit higher, like 11 or something. Semper Adamas. And it's a mirror, and people, like, there's a certain subsection of people who hate mirrors, and basically they have autism, or they're just hideously ugly, right? So, yeah, this is a good showcase of how to play 2nd Marine, because I'm up against 2nd Marine, so it's all about the execution. So, he's got the USMC of Recon, but not in the rocket helos. But what's the point in that when you've got Force Recon and you've got the Lav Scout, so what's the point in this unit? Anyway, I opened double Harriers because I know he doesn't have forward deployed to AA, and I doubt he's opening Tomcat, so... so, yeah, I am losing vision on him. I'm doubling up the favs because I assume he'll be sending 1 fav. Sorry, those planes are really loud. I assume he'll be sending 1 fab down each road. So we get the Stinger there. I didn't know that was the Stinger, I just saw a car, so I shot it. And we got the Force Recon. It's going very well for us. We know he's in that building now, so we're going to hit that as well. Now he buys a 200 million point Tomcat to kill the Harriers, but the Harriers have AA, and we've got Eyehawks and Stingers, so he gets routed, and I'm trying to shoot him with the Harriers, and we get him with the Eyehawk, the Stinger, and the 2 Harriers, so he shouldn't have bought that. That was kind of dumb. There's 1 fighter, obviously, against 2 pseudo-ASFs. I guess he assumed I wouldn't have the Eyehawks. So we get the Stinger, but not the Toe. Okay, whatever. But the Stinger hit me and evac'd me. But yeah, it's going very well for us so far. We're up on kills. He didn't open a CV. He's trying to push here for whatever reason. He wants to fight in the open, reaching over mid. But if I take mid, then I can just shoot him in the side. So this isn't a good plan, basically. If anything, he should be pushing me down this side, right? I'm trying to get behind Bravo. So he's trying to take Alpha. So the USMC gunners I'm getting just to pad stuff out, right? We got the Fab, but I either didn't have my smoke or didn't smoke in time. The DAS Scout can shoot while landed, and I brought a Lav supply, so I just keep refilling the Hydras and shooting them with them, and there's not much he can do because I sniped all the AA. I killed both the Stingers, which I did on purpose so I could use my helicopters, right? The one coming down here I didn't really know it was a Stinger, but the other one I knew there was something in there, so I was going for that. So yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to play aggressively in a mirror match ever. The whole point of a mirror match is you don't play aggressively because you're playing against the same div. So why would you do that? Anyway, you know, just land, get some more Hydras, land, get some more Hydras, land, get some more Hydras. He has to buy more Stingers. He's finally bought a CV. Buys a Harrier, even though I've got the Eyehawks. I get the impression he hadn't played this div much. He clearly hadn't seen this guide because it wasn't invented yet. So, Eyehawk kills the Harrier. I mean, even if that had got the bombs off, he was definitely dead, because there's 2 Stingers here. And, well, I suppose this could have run out of ammo and these could have both missed, and, you know, I wouldn't have bought a fighter. There's a chance he would have made it, but it just wasn't a good idea. He lost the Tomcat to AA, so he knew there was AA there, so why did he buy the Harrier? Anyway, this DAS Scout is doing a huge amount of damage. The Stingers don't one-shot it, so he might hit this now. Okay, well, it's got the ECM. He will eventually hit it. I didn't want to chase this because this guy's only got 2 HP and I don't know what's behind it, so just left him to it. I am moving the Eyehawks. The Fav got nailed by the Toe 2, so he is trying to get around the sides in a mirror match, which just means that because you're fighting against yourself, right? And if the man in the mirror decides that he's going to spend half of his points going around the sides, well then just punch him repeatedly in the face, because he's you, and he's just got one arm tied behind his back, or whatever. Guess the metaphor doesn't last that long, but because it's easier to defend than attack, so yeah, feel free. Like, if I wasn't second Marine, it would make more sense for him to play wide, maybe, depending on what div I am. Yeah, so we've got the smoke, we're using the smoke. These guys don't have AT either, so try and get back behind that, but I think it still kills me. Yeah, he bends the projectile. It just sort of hits me there, so it was my fault. I didn't have to die there. I got the lav with the other lav. And yeah, it's looking good for me. I mean, we know he's in there. I think I buy a yes, I buy a lav to lav. I buy the mortar, right? Because the mortar's actually good against infantry, as you saw in the T-Man game and in some of the other games we've been showing you today. So you'll notice I bought all the gunners out because I can make it right. So this is 80 points. This is 40 points, roughly. So I can get 2 of these for 1 of these. I appreciate transport costs, etc., etc., right? But the point is, I can cover the width. 1 unit can't cover the width. So he's noticed now, and he's buying his own gunners and so on. He does get my lay scouts there. And I know this doesn't have AT, so I'm just driving into him. We know about this, sort of, because although he does actually get around me and start killing stuff. So he's managed to stabilize. I'll be honest, I wasn't really paying attention anymore, because I was like, well, this is easy. No offense to him, it's just when I'm winning a game, I just don't pay as much attention. It's like, that shouldn't have died, that should have just gone back. And now these are going to die because the engineers are going to jump in, so I'm throwing, basically. So don't take your finger off the trigger, don't take your foot off the pedal. Because you get a lot of people and they're like, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad. And then it's a really close game, or they just win, and they're like, oh my god, I'm so bad. And it's like, if you just played normally, you would have won. So whenever anybody tells you they're bad, your instinctual reaction should be to try even harder. That's the reaction you should have to somebody saying they're bad. So yeah, this does end up killing some stuff. It's 90 points. Let's see if it pays for itself. So now that I've got my picket line of gunners, although 2 of them just died, but the idea was now that I've got my picket line of gunners, I can buy the dragons and so on. But yes, unfortunately the tow was a great idea, but he took this building, and so I'm throwing. Also, you know, I had to put guys here to stop that, which allowed him to pivot back into mid faster, and so on. So I buy the Super Cobra AT, because well, I don't know if that was really a good idea, frankly. Well, I know he can't chuck a jet at it, because what's he going to do? Chuck a Tomcat at it? And you see the toes on the roads, right? Das rocket in front of Super Cobra, so that can take the hits. You get shot, you just land, right? Anyway, he gets my M109, so there you go, it definitely paid for itself. That was my bad. I'm throwing the game that I already won. So I'm trying to find this guy. I just assumed there was nothing there because I had a picket line, but he got around it, so send out all the helos and kill him. Yeah. So yeah, never take your foot off the pedal. Somebody tells you they're bad, you should... He didn't tell me he was bad, but just in general, if somebody tells you you're bad, you should try harder. Why are these Harriers so loud? Yeah, so Tomcat one-shots the Harriers. It's got low accuracy, but, you know, he fires 4 missiles... Well, 3 missiles at that point. He hit 1. I think that's fair enough, really. So he Tomcatted me, and the idea is just continue the grind. Try not to die to the grenade launchers. He's mortaring my DAS rocket. And look, it actually does a lot. So... and then it dies because it had to stand up and the Stinger hit it. So look, he's a top player, right? So he obviously knew all about that. And so we're using the units that are here to clear this out. And yeah, he's managed to remass very efficiently. We see the SWIP. But I've got the Eyehawk, it's at 2 vet now because it's killed so much, and I've got the Tomcat. But I didn't want to fly near him. I didn't realise this was basically out of ammo. I knew he had a Tomcat back here and I didn't want to get hit, so yeah, the plane gets out. And he's pushed me out, and remassed. Anyway, he has to move the mortar because I'm hitting it with... Sorry, he has to move the CV because I'm hitting it with the mortar. So CVs actually do... Mortars actually do something now, sorry. Tired, I guess. This should be in the building. So yeah, mistakes being made. And yes, I did the standard thing I keep saying over and over again, that you use the mortar and then you buy the counter battery, right? Obviously this is the second one because the first one got exploded by lab tow. So that does actually get out, whereas this towed one would die, I suppose. So wow, crazy. And we know this is back here because I had units here, so we could see it. And where else is it going to be? So yeah, we'll just keep shooting at that. Trying to take this. There's just a few low guys here, basically. But this isn't in a building, and it's fighting against itself, so obviously it's going to lose. You still got that Tomcat up with no Phoenixes, but I didn't know it didn't have any long-range missiles. That's why I evac'd, otherwise I would have killed that SWIP. You see he's bringing the gunners at 2 vet as well. So Super Cobra, because I know 2nd Marine is weak to helos. So that's why I've got helos out, right? So now I've got 2 Tomcats, one with the Phoenix, one without. And the plan is to bait with the Harrier and then whack him with the Tomcat. Whack his Tomcat with 2 Tomcats. Obviously the Eyehawk is a problem. So... yeah, this needs to land, and this needs to land. This, for whatever reason, it just did nothing. I don't understand that. Those Zuni rockets, and then I lose that because I wasn't landing it. I don't know if I was tired or what, but I'm getting hammered even though I was winning. Just completely throwing this game, basically, so... I don't know, I think I might have seen that evac. Or at least I couldn't see it anymore, so I came in for this scout, because I was like, well, that's on the far side, so there shouldn't be an Eyehawk here. And if there is a Stinger in this town, it wouldn't hit me, so... there was, and it doesn't hit me. But look at that. 2 Tomcats don't kill a DAS scout. They do 3 damage. So the helos are a lot more survivable against planes now. You've really got to prepare for that. I was playing against 101st Airborne and I lost because I had OSAs and he just kept hitting the OSAs with arty, and I literally just could not kill the Apaches. Whereas usually, you know... So then he gets me with that, which is obviously bad news, but it happens. I eventually kill the 1 scout. It costs me a lot of ammunition, but we get him. And then we've taken this position, which is great, because now he can't outflank us here, and we can sort of set up and push. So it's starting to pull my head out my arse a bit. Still going on this mortar, but I guess I was too slow, because he's packed up now already. Don't know what I'm doing there. So, Lavin where I think the Humvee is, but he's moved it. The gunners caught out in the open are just dead. It doesn't matter where he goes now. And you see that, you know, I can shoot him in the side with the tanks and so on. And I've got a Stinger here, so the planes that come for mid, you know, we got a little bit of AA pushed up. It was just because these units were here, so you don't just leave them there, you use them for something. And if there's too much there, then obviously you pull back, but you don't just leave him. So he is on a +1, he's retaken mid. Mainly because to save Alpha, I put a lot on Alpha, I suppose, and I made some micro mistakes, definitely. So yeah, I don't know, I keep getting hit by these Stingers. But that one I killed before it could shoot again, so... Yeah. My tank shoots first but misses? Great. And then they both hit, but I had less HP, so... My bad. And yeah, like this I couldn't shoot because it was too close to me, so I moved to the building to the left, and then he smokes and moves into it so he can kill it. And he's got his own healer. I mean, he's basically just copying me, right? He's like, oh, that worked against me, I guess I'll do the same thing. I mean, that's fair enough, really. But I can't kill this because it's too close to the building and dragons have a minimum range. So I need, like, an AT4, because that can't get it either. And, yeah, this can shoot down the road with the Hellfire while landed. That's why it's roughly there, right? But he's not on the road. And, you know, I've got my supply games a little bit better now, so my guys are getting healed up, whereas his guys, you know, in the middle, there's no supply. But, so we stand up again. We're on low altitude, so if there's a Stinger over here, it can't kill me. The rocket thing, I think he forgot to land, and these Stingers eventually killed it. He caught me in the open with his grenade launcher there, but he ran away, because he was getting hit by my grenade launchers, I suppose. So he has pushed me back here. But yeah, if I just played a little bit better, I could have closed this out. So look, you know, you shoot down the road with the Hellfires. Whoop, whoop, got him. And now he's buying that for... Oh, that's the one from before. You know, the one I didn't kill? Well, this time, I think I get it. Okay, maybe not. It just gets out again. Alright, see you in another 9 minutes, I suppose. Gotta move the Eyehawks after they shoot so they don't get RT'd. Mine's at 2 vet, and it's got supporting fire, so I'm gonna win that fight, or at least I should. It was close, but I got it. And yeah, the labs, I know this is here. I could see it somehow. It might have been this when it was in that building, or just because I got up to here and it wasn't here. I don't know. I could see it somehow. So yeah, this should die now, I guess. So he's moving towards me, because obviously this has a minimum range as well, so he's moving into me so I can't get him. Once I get the AT4 up to here, I can kill the Humvee CV. And we miss. Oh, man. Anyway, he's trying again for here, but now he's overcommitted here, because what am I going to do with this? Come around the side, what's the point? Just fight the attritional battle in mid against yourself, and then you'll win. Or just scratch your face over and over again. So, these have smoke, which saved them there, so there you go. But this guy's caught in the open, and, you know, I am losing guys, but we eventually get that Humvee CV. I went forwards another building. And, you know, I think this is the one I got off him, actually, but... But yeah, my USMC riflemen are at 2 vet and his are at 1 vet, so in a fight, mine should win. And, you know, you're sort of seeing that. But yeah, we've got the Katafi, whatever. It's definitely not Katafi, it's Catfi, but... Or Catfei, I suppose? Yeah, I should have smoked there, I suppose. But there was nobody there, so... That was a waste of 2/3 of a, you know... So yeah, he is pushing me here. Like, he's using all his units. I suppose these aren't doing anything, but neither are these. And the Ihawk's fully resupplied now. I'm just trying to hide behind the buildings and heal up, but... Yeah, I don't know, I'm stupid, I guess. I didn't smoke that. Right, here we go. So I kill my own unit. It gives you a circle of, like, dispersion, and I was not in that circle. It's just it's bigger than the circle, so... Something to keep in mind. But he's buying all these tanks, and he's just ran out of infantry in mid now, and it looks like he didn't spend his points for a minute or so. He just drives into the Ihawk, and now he's gonna, what? Try and man-fight a 2-vet Ihawk. But I had another Ihawk, in case something like that were to happen, so... That's why you tend to get 2, you don't just stick with 1. You get 1 near the start, and then you build up, right? Typically you want to have the things ready before you need them. That's the idea. So, you know, this is at 3 vet and so on. And the Totu ends up killing him, but like, this is not a bad piece of kit. And yeah, I'm using the helos, there's no AA here. He said something like I killed all his stingers, I think he said that. The way he phrased it was a bit weird, but that's the impression I got. That. Well, I suppose these are still here, but yeah, if you put 2 over here, then there's fewer over here, but... Like, this is dumb of me, why am I just standing there and dying? Just wasn't looking, too focused on mid. And then, yeah, he, like, unloaded an Ihawk in front of me. I tried to land, and it just hit me with the first missile. So that's one way to kill Super Cobras, because it one-shots them, right? So no second chances. It's got high accuracy, but... Yeah, losing these for no reason. Looks like he's going to try and sneak something around the side again. But no, I remember seeing it. I saw a Humvee drive into the middle of the field and unload. And I was like, that's an Ihawk. Why is there an Ihawk? And then it hit me and I died. Like, I pressed land, but it takes so long to land. I just didn't react fast enough, I suppose. Yeah, so resupplying the Catfi. I need another... Well, I suppose I've got the Totu down here, so I know that road is open, so I can move this up. And... Yeah, like this, I think I'm waiting for him to shoot RT so I can counter battery. This building eventually gets destroyed. And so now everybody's just getting hammered by all the tanks he had back there. He's still trying to push me here. Do you see where I put it in the LOS? So that I can shoot them as they come through, so they don't all shoot me at once. But sadly I missed. I got him. And then I smoke. So if it was at the front, they'd all be able to see me, but you put it at the back, so only the front ones can see you. It's very important, actually. And so, you know, I'm waiting for him to drive into me. I figure, well, look, if I get the hit, I'm going to kill him, so... Lab's firing again at all those positions. And there it is. Oh, okay. Well, I got something. So yeah, Harrier coming up to kill the Lav. But he's got the Ihawk, so I'm not sure that was really a good idea. Has he got like 3 cards of Ihawks, or has he just moved them all to the right? Oh yeah, so I remember that he has the Eyehawks and then I evac it, so there you go. That's nice. Catfee might finally hit something, but like I said, the stats on it are pretty weird. I don't bother with the M110 in a 1v1 as the Marines. I think you lose too much momentum, one per card, so you need, you know, you lose an extra card basically to get two of them. And now they don't get the vet anymore, so hey, let's make the useless thing more useless. Whoa. So this, I guess I'm not reacting to. I'm looking at mid, I suppose. And I eventually get hit by the Eyehawk. I had my chance to survive there, so my bad. At least he didn't hit that. But yeah, I mean, we're winning pretty heavily, right? He's got nothing in mid. He's just trying to attack here, which doesn't make any sense, because I can hit him from 3 angles. Or even 4. Anyway, so the Harrier's back, because I was like, the Eyehawk has ran out of ammo. But he had a second one. Which decided the Sea Knight was a more important target. And I had the seed behind it. So, yeah, I mean, that's life, I suppose. So he gets my TOW 2 with his M110. The Sea Knights keep dying to lavs and stuff, but I mean, he's just too far behind on the kills now, so he's still trying. But he just lost 2 of his Eyehawks. Now I'm counter batterying him. I don't know if that's going to get anybody. And yeah, we're keeping the seed up for the Eyehawk. And we've got the Tomcat. That's that same SWIP from before that keeps surviving. I think this time I get it. Or maybe not. I guess not. I guess not. So these pass each other. He hits me but didn't kill me. But I have 2 Tomcats and a seed. And now I'm behind him. And so I just miss him a bunch of times. And I think the guns kill him. What the fuck? Okay. We get that eventually. I know about the Eyehawk because it fired at the seed. So I aim at the Eyehawk, and I think this is like his last, apart from these 2 stingers, I think he's just out of AA now, and I think that's why he surrenders. Oh, I just missed. Okay, I guess he's just like, whatever, he's too far ahead. So yeah, nice bloke, but I get the impression I've played more 2nd Marine than him. Rank 4 versus rank 14. He's been playing a lot more ranked than me, but obviously lots of divisions to play, etc. So I think I've got one example left. Right, so this is the last example. I'm up against REYAND, who's in like the top 50 maybe. Obviously people move around. My rank's a bit inflated at the moment, to be honest. I shouldn't really be rank 4. So Albion military base duel against First Cav. He should win this, but he should play slow. If he plays fast, then I'm going to win. Basically all he has to do is, you know, sit back and kill all my guys. Also, he should be pushing Alpha, because in the town, obviously, I'm going to win, because I've got better infantry and so on. But instead, he's pushing the town with his tank division, and trying to fight me infantry to infantry, which is not a good idea, really. So, but, you know, if he'd pushed Alpha, I was expecting him to push Alpha, so I had a lot here. So, Fav's around the side. I know he doesn't have forward deployed AA, so I open 1 DAS rocket and a DAS scout. Because I figure, right, so I know he's going to buy a Phantom now. I'm highly confident that he's going to buy a Phantom now and chuck it at my helos. And what do you know? There's a Phantom. So I believe I bought a Tomcat in preparation, or I might have just landed them and I might have just accepted death, I guess. So yeah, I just accepted death, I suppose. I wanted to be on the ground, but this was firing its TOW 2 at me. But I remember thinking to myself, he's going to buy the Phantom. So I'm surprised I didn't do anything about it. You'd think I would have bought the Tomcat for the Phantom, because he goes in on the helo, Tomcat kills the Phantom, but instead I bought nothing, apparently. Okay. The hell's wrong with me? Anyway, Fav should be AGL, because they're the same. Well, I've got a little bit more HP, but... So yeah, this is on the ground. The Stingers keep missing him. The Eyehawk isn't set up yet. I'm just not spending my points because I'm stupid. Sorry. I opened 2 CVs, USMC leader. One goes Bravo Alpha, one goes Charlie Delta. So I just keep missing him with these Stingers. That's It's 4 rounds I missed him with now, but it is what it is. I should have unloaded this. I was just waiting for it to get into position, but I should have unloaded it. And then, does he get this? No, it just leaves the range, which is nice. So his blob showed up. You'll notice I opened mortar. And there you go, I finally buy the Tomcat now that I don't need it anymore. So fabs around the side, so I can see everything coming in. These it just ends up capturing. So I make sure that they don't auto-sell down this road, which they start doing. I believe I path them over here, because obviously if they come down here, the Bradleys are going to shoot them. We've got a Lav here shooting his stuff, right? So I had like lay scouts here, and I noticed there's nobody here, so I moved up. Now I've got the Lav in a very nice position. You see I'm trying to send these round because I noticed my mistake. But yeah, honestly the div I would say is just above average. It's really not as good as people think it is. It's very bad against mech, it's just people don't play against it properly. I think because it's so popular they will eventually figure out how to deal with it. It's very easy, you just spam helos into it, or play wide, or just play slow. Like if you're a mech div, you just play slow into it and just kill all the infantry, right? His tanks, like the tanks here are nice at close range and stuff, but they're not as good as the Abrams, are they? So yeah, I keep getting hit. Trying to use the dragons and stuff. He sends an Apache to deal with the Fav, but I don't get like an Avenger or something like I would with 9th US. Killing a Stolly is a big deal because that's got 1500 supply in it. I do die for it, but look, I capped. So if these make it back, that's 40 times 2, right? Because in terms of a swing, he would have got 40 points if these made it back to him. Instead, I get 40 points, which is an 80-point swing. And we killed a Stolly, which is like another 40 points. So it definitely paid for itself. And it forced him to buy an Apache. I suppose they are dying now, but... you know, forced him to buy an Apache. I've got the Tomcat up in the Eyehawks, and so I feel confident to buy the Super Cobra. Because I know he's just got Rapiers. And Avengers, right? So I think the Super Cobra is going to be okay. So I did mention this previously. Obviously people skip around and stuff because they don't enjoy learning. But yeah, I'm just shooting him with the Hellfire and then landing and shooting him with the Hellfire and moving. So he buys the Phantom for the Super Cobra. That's why I landed, because I was like, he's going to buy a Phantom for that Super Cobra. So Eyehawk setup, Tomcat setup. I put a Humvee tow here now, so he just literally can't come down here, because before, obviously, this doesn't have the range, so this is doing very well for itself. He can't actually get a CV in here, so it's going very well. But, you know, if I don't keep the pressure up, I'm going to lose. You could see this, I suppose. I'm bringing my USMC leader from Alpha over. This is why it's so nice to have 2 CVs at the start, because you can do stuff like this, which you wouldn't usually be able to do, so... But yeah, the tank blob is messing me up. I need more infantry, but he doesn't know that there's not really anything here. Like, he could have just driven around and killed... Oh, I suppose the Super Cobra would get him, so he can't. The Lav I tried to get around, but the M1 got me, and the Humvee is just out of range, apparently. So, Stinger does make it out. And yeah, the Humvee tow, so I moved it, but then he actually aimed where I was going as opposed to where I was. So, Track Rapier hit me, so I land. And, yeah, you see these grenade launchers are good against the infantry, right? But I'm really struggling against this CEV, which I should be, really. I mean, that's sort of the point. And then... yeah. So, I wanted to send a Humvee tow 2 with a Stinger this time, so that the Apache couldn't kill it, but he had a Cav Scouts there. And... yeah, I can't really kill his Apache, but you know, life's happening. I got it over here, so I'm on a +6 now. But yeah, he moved it to where it was going as opposed to where it was, because he probably assumed it was, well, he obviously assumed it was there instead of where it actually was. So I moved it into it and died, which, okay, I guess I should have just moved it further away when I displaced it. So I'm trying to sort this guy out, because I can't, you know, he just killed my M60 command tank, so that's very bad. And I'm just slowly building up my my units. So I buy some assault men, because I'm worried about this CEV and the tanks at close range and stuff, so we've got tanky units, so we can buy the, you know, damage units or whatever you want to call them. It's just, I literally just can't hurt these guys. They just immediately stun me. Trying to bring a supply over for the Humvee because it was running out of supply, but whatever, it's dead. So Cav Scouts, I'm trying to get this into range, but then I fuck it up, basically, and I just should have, you know, not cancelled that fast path. But yeah, he loses the A-rooms because I just unloaded a tow 2 here because the vehicle Humvee tow was getting hit by the Bradleys with their tows, but the infantry one can't get hit. But I didn't move it, so he ends up artying it. And you see it's just assault men killing everything, having some serious problems with this Apache. I guess he gets me there. This div struggles against healers, there's no doubt about it, so it's smart of him to have that out. I think he makes a mistake here now, though. Yeah, so he didn't react in time, so that just hit him twice in a row. I mean, it was dead, but it was at 2 vet, because it had the CV next to it. Once it killed him, it probably went up to 3, but... And you see, you know, take off, shoot him with the Super Cobra, just lands, you know, nothing fancy. Get another whatever. I'm not right-clicking, I'm just letting it shoot whatever's closest. So it gets the pivads because it outranges those. Like, this did a lot of work. I missed the Bradley, and yeah, he gets my tow too, because I should have been moving it around, really. That I didn't smoke in time. We know he's hiding back there. But, you know, at these ranges, the 23 pen tank at close range starts trading very favourably against these heavy tanks. At long range, obviously, it's useless. But we know he's back there. I'm just trying to figure out how to get there because of the blob. I am on a +4, so I buy the Catfee. The Cataffy, so I can just zap him, right? So this isn't the one with the big pen. I'm trying to get more supply up, but... with that Lark cargo thing, it's a bit unwieldy. It's good if you can get it to work. So yeah, dragons for the side shots and so on, but we miss. It wouldn't. I don't think it would have killed him anyway. It would have got the Bradley, but. And yeah, you know, this is a big squad, and these guys have a DMR and everything. So we're obviously going to be 1 vet, Cav troopers, dragon. I guess this one's 2 vet. But yeah, the CEV's just hosing me because he gets it while it's in the air and so on. I think that was just a misclick. I forgot to give it queued orders, so it just flew right over everybody. This was moving though. I mean, it wouldn't have killed it anyway. Probably would have got 1 hit off. So I'm trying to find these engineers, but every time I show myself, the blob engages. You see how fast I start dying, so even though it's a big squad. So he gets my USMC leader with Arty, the Copperhead rounds. He just knew it was there. I mean, it's not surprising. Where else would it have been? But he seemed to know it was exactly there. I don't know. Maybe I showed there and I went back. I'm not sure how. Oh, never mind. This probably saw him. Yeah, this will have seen him. So I knew this was here because I saw it coming in from the Stinger. But yeah, there goes his CV. I'm getting better at firing half the volley now. Seems to fire 2 at once. And so he's going to come back and cap this, but this will be mine now because I have a spare CV in case I get sniped. And yeah, I've got the Toad 155s now. I've just got it on automatic counter battery, but he's very far away, so I doubt that'll hit him. It does have nice range though. Oh, he can reach me, okay. And yeah, I mean, you can tell I've just sort of won. Like, I'm not killing his units, his armoured units, but he can't get in here. He would have been much better off fighting for Alpha. And then he wouldn't have lost Foxtrot, and I wouldn't be 2,000 points up at 20 minutes. So. You know, stand up, shoot, fire some hellfires at people. Right, the only thing that can reach me is the tracked rapier and the jet, which is why the Tomcat's up whenever this thing's firing. Or at least most of the time, right? So I almost get that guy. So I didn't smoke in time there. The blob is very powerful. So we hit him with the Super Cobra, I guess. But yeah, this is firing the HE round, because the AT round isn't in range. And he knows about that because of the Cav Scouts, but I knew about this because I saw it walk in there from the Stinger. I couldn't see it in the building, but I saw it walk in, and so I'm sending the helos over. I didn't really clock the fact that he could see back here. That's how he got the CV. I thought he was just blind firing there because he knew it was around there somewhere. But so I'm like, yeah, shoot all the assault men at him, but they're all firing the bloody HE round. It's doing less than 1 damage. So Catfeed doesn't really do anything to armor, but I don't have any better targets. It's reloaded anyway. You see the Lark is resupplying the labs. Don't sell the labs. Send them to the Lark. This needs its Hellfires back. And then, yeah, I'm like, I hit him with them all at once. I'm like, 3 guys, triple attack. And they just did nothing. I was like, oh, okay, that's... It's just the different ranges, right? It's just not in range. For the one that would actually do something. So this guy actually has been damaged, interesting, by the counter battery. But yeah, he keeps getting forced out. I mean, he's got a minute to sort this out. You can tell from the timer what's going to happen. So yeah, at close ranges the M60 is good, but I mean, it's not that good. But yeah, I'm trying to get the assault men over so I can get him, but he manages to get Cav troopers in there. So his blob comes back, but the Super Cobra, right? The Super Cobra with the Tomcat. And he just can't do anything about this. I just keep shooting Hellfires at him. He needs the Rapier with the, like, right there with the CEV. But then obviously my tanks would snipe the Rapier, like I'd try and snipe the Rapier. So I land, because I know the jet's coming. And I send out the Tomcat to kill the jet. We do a lot of missing this time, but I think we get him eventually. We have a lot of missiles. And this can fire on the ground, so he still can't move up there. He just attacked in the wrong place. He should have been fighting here. But then I'd be pushing here and, you know, I would react to that, right? Anyway, he gets my tank CV with the Mega Blob. So don't actually have a CV in here anymore. But I got his CV. And yeah, I'm somewhat ahead on kills. So we get the second cat feed. The second Gaddafi. And I just get all the points. So I'm sorry this took so long, but these examples do take long. The KD wasn't actually as one-sided as I thought it was. Look, rank 24, so he is a good player. And to be honest, like if he just played slower and not lost his back 2-pointer for ages, he could have won that. But he should have attacked in the open and then pivoted into the town. Because I'm stronger in the town and he's stronger in the open. So overall, the division, right, you know what it's good at, you know what it's bad at. It's very good against kind of medium divs, but against proper mechanized divs you're going to lose, and against super light send everything around the side divs you should lose as well, because you're vulnerable in the early game. Like 20th Motshots should beat 2nd US. Watch out for enemy helicopters. They're very hard to deal with because you've only got Eyehawks and Stingers, and you can't just chuck a 300-point Tomcat at a helo anymore, which is where the Harriers come in, like seed-protected Harriers. But generally, you're weak at the start, you're weak at the end. You're a mid-game division. And I hope you learned something. The next one I'll do is 336Y, and, you know, channel joiners get it early, and I hope you have a lovely day.